Hello, what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Hello. Ooh, I gotta. Pants feel all funny. All right. Hey, how are you guys doing today? Welcome in. Ugh. Got to get my headset on as we get this thing started. I keep having to switch out the little earpieces. I can't find the right ones that actually. Oh my god. Can't find the right ones that actually fit really well in my ear. Hopefully these ones work well. Tired of having to touch them the whole life. How about we do a fair test? Whoever can squat the most is the cool person. If you're talking about me, you squat more. Okay? Whatever you squat more. Okay? Oh my goodness. Whatever you squat more. Okay, Todd? Whatever you automatically win. MAGA uses the Smith machine? Yo, that's wild. You ain't got to treat him that bad, yo. No, I'll tell you what happened. I'll tell you why I don't squat like really anymore. Yeah, I'm trying. Hopefully not. I was literally, okay, so this happened like 4 years ago. And I had gotten like really big into doing squats. Like I was like, I'm gonna, like, that's gonna be like my thing. I am just gonna, I'm just gonna wreck it in the squat rack. And I was building, dude. I was building hard. I was just about the spot where I was about to go for about a 400, little bit plus max rep. I think the highest I'd done was 380, somewhere in there, 375, 380, whatever it was. And I was warming up. I had 315 on the bar. And these were my like, I was still in warm up mode, right? So I had 315 on the bar. I stepped back. And when I stepped back, the weights just kind of clipped the side of the rack. And my back twisted. And I re-herniated 2 discs in my back and I was out for 6 months. So I don't squat big anymore. So I don't squat big anymore. That was the last time I squatted big. I was like, if I can hurt my back squatting 315 without even doing a rep, then I guess I don't squat anymore. Because I knew I'd never be able to get to where I wanted to, you know? I knew I'd never be able to get to what I wanted to. That's not Summer. That's the damn cats. But, and I had her because she kept going off at like 9 and like in the middle of my live. And I asked her to change it. And now she somehow has timed it to 7 minutes into my live, which I would really like. Hopefully she can get that thing better timed. Anyways, y'all, as you guys are coming in, please say something in the chat. Spark it up. Send the heart me's if you're over on the clock. I really appreciate you. If you're over on the YouTube, come in, hit that like button. Talk in the chat over there. All right. Let's get this thing kind of sparked up. It's kind of moving a little slow to start, which is, it is okay. It's okay. Squats got different after 30. Yeah, I was 35 when that happened to my back. Yeah, I actually, they were already herniated. I re-herniated them. So, yeah, it was the whole thing. Yeah, I re-herniated them, which is wild. Yeah, the knees aren't doing it either, to be completely honest with you. The knees aren't doing great. All right. The knees are there, but they're not 100%, okay? I'm actually waiting right now to go I think I have to go see orthopedics in like a week or two to see about my knee. I'm old. That's what I'm saying. All I'm saying is I'm old. I'm old and broke stuff hurts. You know? I'm old and broke stuff hurts. You know? Just the standard. Just the standard. Anyways, let's double tap that screen. Let's get this thing started. Let's over on the YouTubes. Let's get this thing started. Like, yeah, man, it's slow. We're slow building over there. That's okay. We are slow building over there. That's okay, though. That's okay. Yeah, we all get old. We all get old. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Something that had their knee replaced? I don't even know how that works. How do you have your knee replaced? I don't even know what that means. I don't even know how one has a knee replaced. If you guys know how you have a knee replaced, don't tell me. Keep that to yourself. I don't need to know everything, right? You know, there's certain things I'm just like pretty happy that like I don't know. You know? I'm pretty cool with not knowing that. I don't need to know how knees are replaced. You know? I don't need to know how knees are. It's a white chicks thing. Oh, I must have missed it. You fractured your knee last year? Oh, that sucks, dude. I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. Yeah, I have a torn labrum and a torn rotator cuff right now. So that's really fun. And a torn meniscus in my knee. So I'm doing great. I'm just falling apart. You know, thank you so much. I see that Shush sent a gifted membership, and then Carolyn sent a gifted membership, and then Carolyn sent another gifted membership, and I can only assume they're trying to get Ryan a membership. That's what I have to assume, is that they're still trying to get Ryan a membership, and Ryan still hasn't turned on whatever setting that is needed in order to do that. That's my assumption. So Ryan, I assume, didn't get one. I don't even have to go back and look. I just assume Ryan didn't get one. But thank you so much, Carolyn and Shush, for the gifteds. I appreciate that. Radioactive, thank you so much for the sparkles. Patrick, thank you so much for the happy poop. And Tatted, thank you so much for the $5. And every after 35, every gym session feels like the Tin Man when they first meet him. Yeah, for real. Like, I've been off the gym for like a week now. I haven't been in like a week because I've just been so busy. I've been so freaking busy trying to. You have no idea. I've been so freaking busy. I was supposed to go today, but I ended up doing some other shit. It was a pain in the butt, but I need to get back in tomorrow. I really do. Hopefully I can get some. I'm trying to get some help over here. Help me. What's I doing? Help me. Well, thank you so much, Tatted. I appreciate that. Yes, the memberships are on YouTube. On you guys. You guys have super fans. Okay. The same thing. All right. So if you want to become a super fan or if you want to become a membership, we really appreciate you over on the team. So thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. If you guys didn't catch my live last night, we did have a surprise live. It was interesting. I had been flying all day, and to be completely honest with you, I'd been like shit having drinks on planes all day. So I don't even know why I got on, but I had fun. Hope you guys had fun too. It was just a little surprise live. So it was enjoyable. It was enjoyable. Well, at least I enjoyed myself. I don't know how everybody else felt. I enjoyed myself. Yeah, it was fun. It was a good time. I had like 1 hour long conversation. I started to release it today. And I was like, man, this is a long video to release. So I chose not to. Yeah, so I tried really hard. I didn't release it. So there was no video today. And I can't release the other videos I have because they're, anyways, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. We'll get to it eventually. Do I have a setting off or something? What is going on over here? Why is, I don't think anyone's getting my notifications over here on my portrait live or on any live over on YouTube. What is going on? That's strange. Anyways, we're going to try to keep this thing going anyway, but yeah, something's strange. I don't think my notifications are going out. I gotta send out a message on Discord. Anyways, if you still support Trump, you can call in on the number above my head, or you can join through the Get Multi-Guest Request box. Either way. Besides that, yeah, if you didn't catch me last night, I had a lot of fun in New York. It was a blast. I kind of want to go back. I just feel like I didn't get to do as much. I feel like I didn't get to do as much as I wanted, you know? You ever get that feeling? You ever go someplace, you like travel, and you're just like, man, there were so many things I wanted to do and just didn't get, I don't know. I feel like I just needed more. I feel like I needed more. My favorite thing that I got to see was literally ice in the airport. I know, it's stupid. Hello, how are you? Oh, you're gone. Yeah, it was just not enough time, and like I went there, you know, to work pretty much to get content and all that sort of stuff. So, but still, it was just like, I don't know. I wish I had more time. I wish I had more time. But I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back. Shout out to Naquan. Shout out to Noel. Shout out to all the locals up there who freaking helped us out and who took us out, showed us places, did all sorts of things. That's really awesome. Yeah, they were really, really awesome. All the people that we went with were really awesome. The locals, the people that came into town. It was just super fun, you know? It was just a fun time. It was just a fun time. Again, as you guys are coming in, please come get into the chat. Say some things in the chat. Hit the like button. If you're a Trump supporter, you can jump into the guest request box or call the phone number. Somebody tried to call. I guess I thought I answered it, but I guess they left before the answering went all the way through. So if you are a Trump supporter and you want to call in, you're more than welcome. We got the hat and mustaches out. We're trying to see if we can start tagging that gift gallery nice and early in the week. Yeah, I did see someone. One of the was it at the hotel? Yeah, the bartender at my hotel was eating Dominoes. And like I like had a like I saw it and like I automatically was like I don't like this. You know? Like I was like, how, you shouldn't be allowed to be in New York and ordering Dominoes. Isn't that like sacrilege or something? I think that's actual sacrilege. Yeah, and he was eating like not even a pizza thing. He was almost eating like a, I don't even know, like, what are those like? I don't even know. It was like the pizza bites or something at Domino's. I don't know what they're called. I don't know what they're called. But yeah, it was in like a little box. I was like, they even have Domino's here? That's ballsy. That's actually a very New York thing to eat Domino's. Don't tell me that's actually real. Don't tell me that's actually real. Why would you? Why? Why would you do that? Are we mad about Domino's or the fact that he was eating in front of you? I'm not mad at either of those. I'm mad that there's so much good pizza and you're eating Domino's. Like where I live, Domino's might be the best pizza you see. That might possibly be true, okay? But I don't live in New York. All right? I don't live in New York, so it's not, you know what I'm saying? Hello, how are you?
Hi there.
Hi, how are you? Hello.
Yeah, hi there. My name's Philip. I'm calling from Australia.
Okay. How's it going over there in Australia?
Pretty good. Is this live now, or am I talking to the host?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Are you the host?
I am.
Yeah, well, see, I don't understand why you guys are so against Trump, because here in Australia, we rely on America to be, you know, strong, and we rely on whatever, you know. Biden was a terrible president. Obama was a terrible president. But I think Trump's doing a great job. But I know he's not perfect. But you know, if you guys aren't strong and secure and stuff like that, it affects us here in Australia. We need a strong America, you know. So
you mean it affects you like literally by proportion? You guys are the most affected with oil coming to your country from the Strait of Hormuz than almost any other country on the planet?
Well, we have our own resources and minerals.
That's not what I asked you. Like, you know, when you talk about America, like when Donald Trump starts a war with Iran, and then literally Australia is the most negatively affected when it comes to oil prices almost on the face of the planet. You mean negatives like that?
Well, look, see, the thing is, yeah, our petrol, we call it petrol prices. You guys call it gas, we call it petrol. But the thing is, our petrol prices or gas prices have gone up. It's ridiculous. And it's affecting the price of food. It's affecting the price of everything. But, and Trump did not start the war in Iran. Iran started it, you know, because they're enriching uranium and doing all this other crap. And, you know, that.
How does enriching uranium start a war?
People and doing crazy stuff,
how does enriching uranium start a war?
Israel.
Hold on, how does enriching uranium start a war?
Okay.
Oh no. So we enrich uranium. So does that mean we're constantly in the process of starting a war?
No, but the thing is, Iran is an unstable country. America,
the United States is an unstable country. You said they started the war by enriching uranium. Therefore, anybody who enriches uranium is literally always starting a war. So that means us, UK. Don't you guys enrich uranium? You guys do it. So who are you guys starting a war with?
Yeah, but you're not going to trust a 3-year-old with a nuclear bomb. You know, the thing is like Iran.
We literally elected Trump. That's literally what we're doing. We're literally entrusting the second largest nuclear arsenal in the world to Donald Trump. That's literally trusting a 3-year-old with a nuke.
No.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. You have the Trump deranged syndrome. That's what you've got.
Okay, cool. If I have Trump derangement syndrome, then that's easy. If I have Trump derangement syndrome, then that's easy. All right, cool. Please tell me your favorite piece of Trump policy and how it helped you Australia.
Well, let's see. What I like about Trump.
I didn't say what you like about him. Name your favorite piece of Trump policy and how it affected Australia.
African Americans and Hispanics and other sort of minorities and stuff like that. There's been high employment for all of those people under Trump.
Incorrect.
More than ever before.
Actually, black unemployment is at a almost record high right now. So no, you're wrong.
Well, probably now.
So I didn't ask you, but see, sir, here's what's fun. See, I'm black. Okay. You're Australian.
Yeah, I find that really weird for you to say that you're black because you don't look black to me.
I don't give a shit what you think. Be quiet.
That's what I find.
All right, I'll just mute you. If you want to act like a child, I'll treat you like one. It's glad to know that Australia grows dumbasses too. So shut the fuck up while I repeat my question for the final time, okay? I'm black. You're Australian. My question was, nope, muted again. Last chance. If I unmute you when you start talking while I'm talking, then I'm just going to hang up the phone and you can go fight a kangaroo or whatever you want to do. All right? Whatever you guys do down there. Oh, he hung up. That's probably for the best. What I was saying was, I'm black. You're Australian. All right. So therefore, how about you let me decide what Trump policies are good for black people and you can decide what Trump policies are good for Australian people. But since you couldn't name one, I assume there wasn't one. Interesting. Anyways, guys, if you live in Australia and you're like a Trump supporter and you live out there, please just do us all a favor and just go do something else. Okay? Don't come in here. It's not worth your time. Okay? Hello, how are you? All right. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hi,
I'm
how
doing
are you?
all right. Hey, so look, I'm a lefty too, okay? Hello? Are you there?
Yeah. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing all right.
There we go. Conversation. Do you still support Trump?
No, I don't really support Trump, but I'm curious what your thoughts are on this.
On what?
So he's destroying all this shit in the Middle East, right? And it's terrible. I completely agree. But at the same time, we need to get off of oil and gas, no?
I mean, yes, we should start moving towards non-fossil fuels as a source of energy.
And he knows that he's the devil. Obviously. But
you think the devil knows they're the devil?
Well, I mean, maybe he doesn't know that he's the devil. Whatever.
Did you think Hitler knew he was Hitler while he was being Hitler?
Huh?
Do you think Hitler knew he was being Hitler while he was being Hitler?
I think Hitler is a complicated issue, but yeah.
I didn't ask you to describe his entire psyche. I just made a simple suggestion that maybe when his mindset, in his thought process, he thought he was doing something right. We all disagree with that, right? But in his mindset, he thought he was doing something right. And I don't see why it would be any different for Donald Trump, that Donald Trump, in his mindset, wouldn't think that he was doing something right, even though he unequivocally isn't.
Right. But here's another thing too, right? And obviously he's causing not us, but the world to run away from the U.S. reserve currency, whatever. But he's also kind of making a solution in the process by putting his name and face on coins and dollars or what. He's kind of doing modern monetary theory without doing Keynesian economics.
No, he's not. Nope.
No?
He's just fucking up the dollar, fucking up the world economy, fucking up the world's fucking fuel, and killing American soldiers. There isn't some like little side quest where he's accidentally doing something good here by doing that doesn't exist.
100%. Like I don't like. I think it's more like just kind of. It's just interesting. Like he's doing all this shit. By the way, like real quick, I am running for Indiana District 4. Like I'm trying to be a libtard leftist, crazy, maybe I wanted to shout out my channel possibly if that was okay.
It is not.
Okay, that's fine. Well, I just kind of wanted your thoughts on that, but yeah, I guess that's it, really.
All right, man. All right. Anyways, y'all hit that like button, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I appreciate you. Yeah, I don't know what that was. If you are a political candidate and you would like to have space on my show, then you can contact me and I will check out your platform. I'll see what kind of things you represent, and then I'll decide whether I want to have you represented on my show. Yeah. I'm actually interviewing 2, maybe 3 different freaking candidates for Congress this year, just this month. So yeah, I have no problem doing that, but I'm going to know who you are before I start representing you on my platform. Hello, how are you?
Well, hey, man, what's going on with all the rudeness, dog?
Rudeness towards who? Towards you?
No, just in general, man. I feel like you would get like a lot of your points through a lot better.
Oh, man, if I cared about your feelings, I would have fucking asked.
No, I don't care. My feelings are
Yeah,
fine.
I don't care either. Fuck off. Dude, please, for the love of God, first of all, call if you support Trump, not anybody else. Second of all, if you work for the tone police, go someplace with it. I'm not interested in your opinion. Okay? That goes for if you're on the left or the right or the center. If you're far, you could be Nick Fuentes or a goddamn fucking Marxist. If you want to come and tell me about your opinions of my fucking tone, then fuck all the way off. Cool. All right. Anyways, we're going to get to some actual conversations, some actual debates in here. Hopefully, eventually. All right. I'm just being honest, man. I'm not trying. It ain't nothing but a thing. Yeah, I do not. We already got ICE to deal with. I don't need the tone police coming in here also. Okay. Truthfully, don't. Janelle, thank you so much for the floating heart. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And Capo, thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships. Holy shit, Capo. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Can we get huge W's in the chat for the 10 gifted from Capo? Capo is absolutely killing it over here. I swear, we're going to hit 300 subs again. We're going to hit 300 subs again because Capo's over here gifting freaking amazing membership. So make sure you guys do that. Make sure you guys are joining the Discord. Make sure you guys are doing all the fun stuff. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. That is absolutely awesome. Thank you so much. Big W's in chat for Capo. All right, if you still support Trump, you can call in on the number of my head or you can join the guest box. We got a couple people over here in the guest box. I'm not sure they're Trump supporters, but we'll give it a shot. Hello? Hello? All right, negative over there. We're going to try it again. Hello? Oh, nope, they're not in yet. Hello?
Hi.
Hi, how old are you?
I'm sorry. I was just listening to you, Polly, and you're doing a great job. I'm a Democrat. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're
I was
good.
Just watching you, sweetheart.
I appreciate
You're doing
you.
a great job.
I appreciate that.
Keep
Thank you
up
so
the
much.
Good work.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. W's in chat for that caller. What do I think of the Drewski impression of conservative women in America? Spot on. Hello, how are you? Hello? No? All right. We got a bunch of people in the guest box. We're going to see if anybody's a Trump supporter. Try to keep this thing going. Oh my goodness. Hello? She sounds like your granny. She sounds like a really awesome auntie. She sounds like a really awesome auntie. I always need some new aunties, all right? I always need some new aunties over here. Yeah, I always need some new aunties over here. Y'all, if you guys like support, I do have the hats over there. I did see, I think it was Muzz King over there that cleared out two of the little live gift the gift galleries over there. I have to check that real quick. Yeah, it was Muzz King. Muzz King went ahead and cleared out the roses and the finger hearts. I really appreciate that. So if anybody likes support and help me clear some of these gift gallery out, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you? No, you're gone. You thought MAGA wasn't so sensitive? MAGA's just MAGA. MAGA's just out here being MAGA. That's all. Nothing special. Yeah, MAGA's just out here being MAGA. Thank you guys so much for the hat and mustaches. I appreciate that. All right. Well, we're going to try to keep this thing going, see if we can get some callers in here. I haven't really had I had an Australian that crashed out. I had one Australian that crashed out. Somebody that was running for Congress, I think, that believes Trump is doing a good thing. And part of the Tone Police. That's all I've had so far, but that's okay. Sometimes it just takes a little longer. Would you ever try TikTok guests again? I was just bringing up TikTok guests. Actually, the person I talked to last night, all night, was a TikTok guest. Yeah. Also, make sure you guys are sending those heart me's over there too. I really appreciate that. That's very, that is helpful to keep the live going and help everything keep moving. Yeah, I never understood the whole, I don't know. I truly never understood it. I really never understood it. Because it's like, that's like the super cool thing about like social media, about TikTok, about YouTube. Like, if you don't like the way somebody is on live, you can just like, and then it's like a whole new person. You know? Like you just do this, you just go. And then and if you don't like that person, you can just, and then there's a whole new person that shows up. And it'll do that almost infinitely. Right? You can just keep doing it. Just like almost forever. Right? And then, and instead of doing that, people that don't do this come and tell me how I should be doing it. Right? It's been happening for so long. It's been happening for so long. Like, it's just funny where people will just like come up and they'll be like, I think you should run your platform different. Like, you just like, I don't care. Cool. All right. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I got too much attitude for that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I got too much attitude for that. All right. Well, guys, like if I listen to everybody who's ever given me advice on my platform, I would.
It's insane.
I wouldn't have 4 people. I wouldn't have 4 people in here. If I followed everybody's advice, they tried to give it to me, I wouldn't have 4 people in here. Yeah, it's just like on Tinder. You can swipe left or right. And it's almost like infinite. You can just keep doing it, right? You can just keep doing it. You went out to the bar with your friends, you had a couple drinks, and you're just swipe right. You're just keeping it going, just swiping. What did little Dicky say? Little Dicky said any measurable. All right. Truth, thank you so much for the $20. I really appreciate that. Said, I am starting an account to help keep your tone tuned up. I appreciate that, Truth. Yeah. I appreciate that, Truth. This is all going into my tone police account. This can all go into my tone police account. I've been saving up. To give a fuck. And it's starting to get there. We're getting close. We're getting just a few more dollars and I'll give a fuck, dude. Thank you so much, Truth. Hello, how are you?
Well, I'm pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you?
I'm 18. Just
Awesome.
turned
Do you still
18.
support Trump?
Happy birthday to me. Yeah, I do.
Awesome. Why is that?
So basically, like, I'm more into like the 2016 Trump, but he's kind of downgraded since then. But I still think he's a pretty cool guy. Just take a look at him.
Yes, I look at the man whose hair looks crazy, whose skin looks like it's falling off, who's holding himself up by a podium, and the first thing I think is, what a cool guy. Yeah, what a cool. When the missiles are hitting the elementary schools, I just think, like, wow, what a cool guy,
Well, you don't have to get so emotional about it.
That's emotional?
Yeah, man. I mean, come on.
Oh, we got tone police number 2.
That's an ad hominem. Would it
Are
not
you
be?
are you that guy's son or something? Did you come to defend his honor? Are you his son or his boyfriend?
Well, listen. Maybe he looks like he has leprosy, right? But does that deny the fact that he's a hard worker?
No, but it also doesn't make him a hard worker.
Do you think he's a hard worker?
No,
Why not?
because he doesn't work hard.
How not?
How do you
strictly
not
the reason.
work hard?
Give me an actual reason.
Usually by not doing too much. Yeah, that's usually when I'm trying to
taken
not
the
work
most action
hard.
out of
I
any
don't
president
do
in the
very
last 20
much
years,
at
dude.
work. Yeah, that's I don't know how you define not working hard, but that's usually how I define it.
He's taken the most action out of any president in like the last 10 years, dude.
He's taking the most executive action, which is something that he doesn't have to work at.
And federal, boom,
And federal what?
federal action. Have you not
Yeah,
seen it?
all executive action is federal action.
You living under a rock, buddy? Listen, man, I have 185 tested IQ, so I shouldn't even be here right now. But to sum it up, Trump's pretty cool. Whatever this live stream is pretty gay. And I hope you have a good one, all right, man?
It wasn't very gay until you showed up.
At home.
All right. Anyways, that dude doesn't have 185 brain cells. If you took them all, added them all up, and multiplied them by a few. That dude doesn't have 185 brain cells all combined, added up, multiplied by his age. If you divided his brain cells by his age, yeah, maybe. If you multiplied his brain cells by his age, he still wouldn't have 185. He still wouldn't. Oh no. Lost my headset there. Yeah, genius. Hot dog, thank you so much for lighting up the hat and mustaches. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, hot dog. Hello, how are you?
Hey, just calling to ask one single question.
Ask away.
Would that be okay? My main question was, what would be your outlook on November? Because a lot of people are saying that it's going to be a slaughter, but I feel like there's going to be some sort of plan / thing that he might do to prevent that from happening.
Well, I mean, he's already doing that, right? He's already trying to take voter rolls. He's already trying to pass the SAVE Act, right? He's already said that we need to take, voting out of the hands of the Democrats. He's already tried to send ICE into Democratic cities. So it's not like he's trying to do something for November. He actually 100% is already doing something for November. But you know what? In this specific case, I take Donald Trump's stance on it, right? Too big to rig. Everybody, if we get out there and vote and we're out there and we shove it in ICE's face and we shove it in everybody's face, and you make sure you keep your registration tight, right? You should be checking your registration. I mean, right now, you should probably be checking it once a month. By the time you get there, you might want to be checking it once a day, because I don't know what's going to be going on closer to November. But checking your voter registration, make sure if you start getting your paperwork in order in case some shit happens. Make sure you have all your stuff. Start working all of that right now, and then get out and fucking vote. Yeah.
Yeah, that was what I was gonna do, but I was hearing people like Emma Bigland and Sam Cedar talking about how like the Democrats in general don't really seem to have a clear vision of how to win, and that they're just kind of doing the same big tent tactics they've always been doing. So that's why I was like,
that doesn't change anything for this
about
year.
it.
That doesn't change anything for this year. That changes nothing.
Okay.
You think Emily George just took Florida's 87th because of a clear vision of the Democratic Party?
I mean, that is a good example.
Or Emily Gregory. Sorry, I don't know why I said Emily George. Emily Gregory.
Yeah, I was kind of heartbroken when Kat Abigazala lost, though. So that's why I was like, I don't know. People are still doing exactly what we're telling them not to do, you know?
Yeah, the Democratic message needs to improve, but the Democratic message has needed to improve for a long time. Their cohesiveness have needed to change for a long time. That's a problem for, like, I mean, it's a problem now, but it's not the problem for November. The problem in November is people not voting.
Okay.
And people don't need to be galvanized behind a Democratic message for November. They need to be galvanized behind a Democratic message in 2028. In November, they just need to hate Trump enough to fucking go vote.
Okay. Is there anything that could be done on the local level that would like help push that along so that most of his tactics aren't going to work?
Absolutely. I think all of the things that, as long as they don't try to pass more legislation, try to stop it, right? Things like going door to door, handing out pamphlets, picking up people to go vote, right? Especially if they're doing things like trying to get rid of mail-in voting. I think that those are super important. Finding local campaigns, supporting, whether that's with your wallet or with your time. All of those things are super, super helpful on a local level. And I think a lot of times people do concentrate a lot heavier on federal elections, but in reality, it's the local elections that really get the job done. So, I think that concentrating on all of those things locally is super important, and it's going to be huge to helping put checks on Donald Trump.
All right. Well, that was all my questions. I just haven't gotten a lot of opportunities to talk with fellow progressives, so this was really enlightening.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Hopefully I answered all your questions.
Oh, yeah, you did. Thank you.
All right, man. You have a good one.
You too. Peace out.
All right, y'all. Make sure you hit that follow button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, guys, there's so many things to do. W's the chat for hot dog for W's chat for that caller. Also W's chat for hot dog for clearing out that live gift goal and for clearing it out of the gift gallery. I really appreciate that. I mean, there's so many like good things that you can do, and you're right. I mean, I think that it is very clear that the Democrats, don't have a very good message. That the left doesn't have a very good message, doesn't have a very cohesive message. And as long as like the Democrats are going to continue to put people like Chuck Schumer in to try to deliver that message, it's always going to suck, right? But it doesn't change the fact that right now it doesn't, like, you have to do whatever you can right now, because the Democrats might never figure it out. If you're waiting on the Democrats to figure it out, to do something, then you're going to be in trouble. You're going to be in a lot of trouble. Just thought I'd throw that out there. So call your reps, support things locally, like the caller said, and you'll be great. Anyways, y'all, if you guys still support Trump, you guys can join the guest request box, calling on the number next to me or above me, and we can have a conversation. Shay, thank you so much for that galaxy. I really, really appreciate that. W's the chat for Shay for that galaxy. I thought that was in my gift gallery. I didn't even check. Oh, yeah, it is. All right, cool. Shay, lift that up. I thought it was. I wasn't sure, though. I thought it was, but I wasn't sure. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
Hello? You mean the gift gallery where you make money? Everyone else that makes money is bad.
Everyone here, I believe, makes money. Do you not make money? I have so many follow-up questions. It's so sad that you ran like a bitch. But Yeah, everybody makes money. What are you talking about? Have you never heard of a job before? If you're in here and you are somehow finding a way to survive without making money, I don't know what your deal is. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how most societies work, is you give your time and labor for finances. That's, you make money. It's funny how the people with like no actual cohesive thought. Thank you so much, Hot Dog. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. There's the chat for that. Yeah. Yes, guys. I hate all of you. Everybody, every single one of you who has a job and makes money, or doesn't have a job and makes money. Anybody who makes money in America, I hate you. Apparently, according to the last caller. I hate every single one of you. You guys are all horrible. All right? Y'all stink. Oh my goodness. Is this the bottom of the barrel? Is this where the bottom of the barrel is? I was really curious where the bottom of the barrel was. I think that we're at it somehow. Yeah, I know, Tatted. You're out here working 40-hour weeks, and you bad person. Bad. I don't know. I think he thought he had a gotcha or something. I don't know. Anyways, y'all, if y'all want to help me make money, I do have the corgis lined up. I also have super chats, super stickers, pay links in the bio. Really appreciate you guys. Yeah, I am getting a little bit of a lag. I'm seeing the lag over here. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to shut stuff down over here to try to compensate for it, but it's not really working. Y'all getting paid? Uh-oh. Well, that's not good. Yeah, everything's lagging. I think my internet's cutting out. I don't know what's going on over here. I'm having a rough time on this live. I'll tell you guys what. I'm trying over here. We're struggle busting. Hello, how are you?
To get off my Bluetooth. I'm good. How are you? Can I get off my Bluetooth real quick?
Yeah.
I think it might echo a bit on you.
All right. No, it's me. At least it's like my internet's being a little bit funky today, which is weird. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, you froze up on me for a quick sec there. I swiped up and down, and then you came right back. But
yeah, it froze up on everybody. It's all good. So anyways, how old are you?
I'm 43.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yeah, why wouldn't I?
Because you love America?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
No, I said you wouldn't support Trump if you loved America, but obviously that's not. You asked why you wouldn't support Trump, and I said because you loved America.
And I said I do love America.
Oh, so you don't support Trump?
Yes,
congratulations, man. We converted one. Woo! We did it, guys. Guys, big W's in chat for Paulie for the big win. We converted one.
All right. So why do I not support America?
Because you support Trump.
Okay. I support a man who doesn't need the office, doesn't need the money. Everyone's gone after him. They've tried to unalive him multiple times, and he still represents what this, half the country wants to see happening. And I can appreciate that you don't like what's going on, but I mean, I do.
Half the country?
Yeah, half the country.
No, at no point did half the country support what Donald Trump was doing.
We sure did when we voted for him.
How many votes did Donald Trump get?
Let's see, what was number wise, it was what, 78 million
Perfect.
of people who
Yeah.
voted.
No. You didn't say half the people that voted. You said half of the
You're correct.
country.
You're
And if you want to be
correct.
if you
You
want to
are
be
correct.
technical, of all the people that voted, he still only got about 49%, 48, 49%.
Yeah, it was 49.6 or something like that. But whatever. I mean, there
It
were some
wasn't
swing
49.6, but it was lower than that.
independents.
But regardless, so still at no point did half the country support him. But even more important,
Nearly.
right
I did
now,
start with nearly.
yeah, right
I
now,
started with nearly.
cool. Right now, he has between a 34 and 36% approval rating, depending on which polling that he has. 36% on Fox News, in case you want something a little bit more right leaning.
I don't really watch a lot of the news because I think we all agree it's pretty prejudiced.
The news doesn't. I don't watch the news either. I'm saying the polling. Okay. The polling shows him having between a 34 and 36% approval rating, dropping quickly. So no, half the people in the United States do not support what he's doing. Not even close.
Okay. I guess you didn't ask me why I voted for him, but you asked, and I said that. So okay, that's fair. But yeah, no, I mean, I still do, and I mean, ultimately, I think I'm really committed into my decision. It's a big impact on our lives and who we vote for, and what actions they take. So I'm still intrigued to see how it's all going to turn out. But again, you really don't like him, and I'm curious why.
I don't like bad presidents.
Okay, how many bad presidents have you feel like you've seen in your lifetime?
This bad, 0.
Sure.
But bad ones, I would definitely put Bush in that category. Yeah, I think Bush was a bad president.
Older or younger?
Younger. Older's in my lifetime, but it's not like I really remember him.
Okay. Yeah, and that's fair. Again, I mean, like I was born during Reagan, but I don't remember
So was I.
actually happened. I agree that the younger Bush. I mean, he of all the Republican presidents, he's definitely my least favorite. You probably picked this one, but okay. So again, you don't like him, but why? Like, what has he done that hurts you as an individual? Which I know that the leftists tend to be more empathetic, and they like to think of more broader, they include people better than we do because we are inherently, I'll admit, selfish. But what is it like specifically, though?
Yeah, in which aspects? Sir, prices are up for everybody, including me. I buy groceries, so prices across the board are higher. Gas prices are higher due to the war he started, right? So that affects me and my pocket specifically. We still have a rising housing market in which it's harder to buy a house. It's harder, still currently, interest rates are not dropping as far as they should because of his things like his tariffs and his war. So those are affecting my pockets, right? We have troops overseas that are in harm's way. I have lots of friends that are in the military and lots of family members that are in the military. So them being gone and having the possibility of dying really affects me very directly. Okay. But even more broadly, I think I'm more affected by the fact that I do this every day. And Donald Trump has shown that he has no care or will whatsoever to stop violations of the First Amendment, right? He's had Brendan Carr go out there and specifically take out people or threaten to take out people that were exercising their First Amendment. I think he's been found I think it's close to a dozen times in federal court at this point for violations of the First Amendment, right? So I think as somebody who does this, that directly affects me. And we can go into all sorts of different things, but yeah, those are the ones that just off the top of my head directly affect me.
So I guess I'll just start with agreeing with you on your last one. I mean, I don't think there should be any infringement on the First Amendment. So if you feel that way, I haven't really seen it, but it'll be certainly interesting to see, what comes out of those court cases. But you had
they're over, by the way. The court cases are over.
More. Okay.
He's already been found in violation.
And what causes the problems there?
There's tons of things that cause the problems within the housing market. And I'm not saying that Donald Trump created them. What I'm saying is he said he was going to fix them and he's choosing not to, and doing things that stop the interest rate from being able to go down, like his tariffs, like this war in Iran, directly stop people from being able to buy houses.
Okay. So is the issue about being able to buy a house their cost?
The issue is about Donald Trump just being a shit president. But yes, the cost is part of it. The availability is part of it. The interest rates and the ability to get loans are all part of it. The shortage of single family housing, the fact that they're not financially, money makers for house builders is a problem with it. The fact that we get a lot of lumber from Canada and have that lumber like tariff, that's a problem with it. We can go on with how problems with the housing market over and over and over and over and over. Yeah. Not to mention the fact that I think at this point, I don't believe that, that wages and the rise in wages is catching up to the cost of living or to the housing market in this country, and Republican policies tend to generally allow for or stop, rise in wages forced, by the government. So that's a problem, right? We're not having anything catching up. So people can't buy, people can't save to get things like employment or things to save up to get things like mortgages.
Okay. I mean, so again, the reason you brought it up. And so I was like, okay, I build houses, right? I'm a very small town general contractor, and I see a lot of increase in rising costs, and I'm in a very blue state also. I see a lot of the rising costs due to requirements. And so, it was part of the reason that I voted for Donald Trump was because he promised that he would deregulate a lot of those things that would help bring some of those costs down. I haven't seen wages go up. You're absolutely right. And I'm not necessarily like a proponent of higher wages unless it's necessary. I mean, they did go up through, I feel like in tandem with the inflation that we've seen, which has ebbed and flowed like most things do. But the issue is that people cannot afford to buy them because it costs too much to build them. And it isn't inherently because the lumber is high. That is such a trivial thing in my world. When I look at my
that was number
budget,
like 7 on my list.
$500,000 house, and we're talking $20,000.
Sir, I named so many things, and that was like number 7 on my list. Yeah, it's trivial. It was number 7.
Sure, but you asked me one I could actually give you numbers about. So
you picked the trivial one, and that's the one. You picked number 7 on my list, and the one that you consider trivial to attack. Like that doesn't make any sense. If you consider it trivial, then why are we talking about it?
I considered one line item in there that you brought.
How would you address any of the other line items? Like, first of all, you told me that he was going to deregulate the system, and the only thing that he's done as far as deregulation is deregulate the Fair Housing Act, which actually made it easier for corporations to buy up single-family homes, which actually added to the problem with our housing. He did that in his first term. Right. So he did end regulation. It was the regulation that made houses more expensive. What regulation did he say he was going to remove to help building houses easier?
I didn't say he specifically would. The idea of deregulating was appealing to me when I voted for
No, when did he say that? When did he say he was going to deregulate anything for housing?
All kinds of things. Like in the last couple months, he got rid of 20 years of what to the average American appear to be nonsensical things. So yeah, and I do understand that probably on a greater good, they probably do have some purpose, but for the average American, they were unnecessary.
Gotcha.
The same question I asked you was like, how did it affect you? I asked how it affected me. And I said, and that's why you brought up housing. So I went ahead and jumped on it. And I said, it could potentially help me create more business.
What has he deregulated?
Restrictions on what I do. I'm not saying he has yet. I just like that he's deregulating things, and I hope it hits my industry.
So just to be clear.
Yep.
He's the only deregulation he's done in 2 terms have made houses more expensive. He's not talked about deregulating anything in the housing industry that would make them cheaper. And you're just guessing that maybe he will at some point, and then we're giving him credit for things that he hasn't even talked about doing and doesn't even sound like he has a plan to do. Like, sir, I'm not going to lie to you. If that's your main point, then I think you're going to have to start agreeing with me that he's a bad president. If the only thing you can pick out is the thing he hasn't done, hasn't talked about, and doesn't seem to have a plan to do.
The way you put it, you're absolutely right. No, but again, first term stuff. I'm going to get rid of 4 or 5 regulations for every new one that went in. Right? Is that about right? More or less what he promised.
I never heard him say that, but okay. Sure.
Yeah. Well, anyways, that was his thing, or a thing of the handful of things that he probably hasn't done a lot of. But yeah, no, but the investment in, I guess, my vote and my commitment to it. When we look at every single 4-year term that a president has, is on average, probably 5 or more % of our lives. All right. And so we just, I like you, had grown up. I felt like I had a pretty decent childhood, and it wasn't great. We really didn't have a lot of money, but I felt like I was happy, and I want to give that to my kids. And then in the last 12 of the last 16 years leading up to the election, we had Democratic run presidencies. And I felt like a lot of things were changing. And I said, I have a chance now. I'm going to take a shot, and I'm going to invest in a vote. Again, in my state, it didn't really matter anyways. But that I want, like, I'm going to see this thing through, and I'm committed to it. And
Sure.
I'm going to lie in the bed that I made for myself. If
That's
it's wrong,
stupid.
I will come up here and tell you, you can tell me it's stupid. But
Sure,
as
if
a
you
man,
lay
like,
down in
make convictions
if you
over
lay down in a
life,
bed of scorpions and the scorpions start like, I don't know, what are they, stinging you? It's not an intelligent thing to be like, well, I laid here. Like, I guess I'm just gonna lay in the bed of scorpions and they're just gonna keep stinging me because I laid in it. I guess there's no point in moving. Like, what are you talking about, dude? He's not making he's not making things more secure for your kids. He's not making anything more secure for you, right? He's not doing any of those things, right? You're just literally saying that the only reason you still support him is because you did support him, and so you might as well keep supporting him. And that just lacks all, I don't know, all anything, man. Like, what are you doing?
Hurt me? No. I mean, plain and simple though. Like, not like my life hasn't changed, and it really didn't matter if Kamala would have. It probably would have changed my life either. But yeah, I mean, again, if we can turn back, there were some things like, again, I don't entirely understand and I don't disagree, but at the same time, I'm fine with that woke culture being in schools. Like, that was an easy one for me to sign off on. Like, I want to slow down some of that. Get rid of the Department of Education, because what do they do anyways? It goes to the states and it goes to the local government. Like, why do we even have it on a federal level?
So let me get this straight. You're saying both A, the federal government needs to get woke things out of schools, and also B, the Department of Education does nothing. So therefore, how would that have any effect on what you said?
Yeah, I guess the way you say it, it's kind of hypocritical, isn't it? But
it's only one or the other. Either the Department of Education has power, so therefore him getting rid of it gets woke out of schools, or B, it has no power, which means he's not getting woke things out of schools.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I am talking on two ends of the spectrum and not making any sense. I think I might have hit happy hour a little too early tonight. I appreciate your time. I'm going to let somebody else come up here.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Cheers, pal.
To answer his question, and just let you know, curriculums in schools are controlled by the states. So Donald Trump is not doing anything to get woke out of schools, because I don't even know what the fuck that means. I guess things like math and research are woke now. Second of all, Department of Education literally helps people get into colleges, helps special needs kids, right? They do a lot of financing stuff for colleges, for schools that are like rural schools, special needs schools. They do a lot of good, and none of it is woke. Unless you think that, special needs children going to school is woke, which in that case, super woke. If you think that poor children being able to go to college through Pell Grants is woke, then sign me up. Woke as shit. Y'all, please make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We're going to try to keep this thing going. If you guys would like support, I do have super chats, super stickers, pay links in the bio, all at Polypolitics, just like my name. Trying to light up the gift gallery over here with the corgis. I think I need 3 from one person or something like that. So if you'd like to help me light that up, I really appreciate that also. Or help with the gift goal. I appreciate that. Hello, how are you?
Hey, and you?
I'm good. How old are you?
I'm 23.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
No, I never have. I just want to say that I just want to say that you are so amazing at what you do, man. Like, I really appreciate what you're doing. Just thank you for everything that you do.
I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, man. All right. Messi, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Said last call was a joke from the Pac-Man show, by the Pac-Man show, by the way. What call was a joke from the Pac-Man show? I listened to the Pac-Man show. What did I miss? Did I miss something? Did I miss something? Maybe I missed something. My bad. Sorry. Thank you, Messi. I appreciate it. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I'm still jet lagged or something. And just a little thank you so much for the super. Sorry, I appreciate that. Yeah, maybe I missed it. I don't know. Just went over my head or something. All right. See if we can get somebody in here. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 52.
Awesome. You still support Trump?
Yes, I love Donald Trump.
All right. I don't believe that you're not a troll. Hello, how are you? Hello?
Hey. Oh, hey, Polly. Sorry. I just wanted to explain. It was basically like supposed to be just a joke. I don't support Trump. I just wanted to say, I love what you're doing and everything. But
Thanks,
there is
man.
a joke on the Pac-Man show where he has like this clip where he plays, oh, you mean the bonus show? The show where you make money. Everyone else that makes money is bad. It's like some kind of joke from some Fox News.
Oh, okay. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I haven't heard that one yet. Maybe I missed that somehow.
Sorry about that.
Oh, you're
No,
good.
Sorry about that.
You're good. You're good. Have a good one, man.
Have a great day. Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. Maybe I missed it. I haven't been a Pac-Man listener for a long time, so maybe I'm too new for that. Maybe I'm too new for that. All right, John, if you still support Trump, you guys can join the guest request box or call in. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We're just having a little bit of a slow night. I think YouTube did another update. TikTok's just being a little off today. That's okay. Is what it is. I guess we're just going to have a slow night. I think that might have actually been the guy that called in earlier. I think that's what it was. I think that might have actually been the guy who called in earlier. I think. Yeah, I'll have to check it out later. It was? You guys are better at hearing the voices than me, I guess. You guys are better at hearing the voice than I am. I don't know. I miss it. I think he was saying something funny earlier and then I missed it and then like I went off on my whole little tangent. I'm not sure. We're just gonna call it a wash and keep going with the live, I guess. We're just gonna call it a wash and keep going on with the live. Which I guess might be a short one tonight. I don't know. We're not really getting any people in. Doesn't look like my notifications are going out. It's being very, very strange. Thank you so much, Mona. It's being very, very strange. I don't know. It's Monday. If somebody's got a case of the Mondays, I think it's MAGA. I think they're scared. MAGA's got a case of the Mondays and they're scared. Yo, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Let me grab something. Sorry about that. Oh, someone called in too. I don't know. I guess we'll see if we're there or not. Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm excellent. How old are you?
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Nope. How old are you?
Okay.
All right. You can ask me almost any question you want, but you do have to answer how old are you first. That is the rule. Okay. That is the rule. Yeah, I saw that tatted. I don't know if I have any mods in there or not. But I did see that. I don't know. I just asked how old he was. I didn't ask. I didn't try to go crazy over here. Wasn't a big deal. Hello, how are you?
Oh, good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How old are you?
Man, I'm 39.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Man, of course, why wouldn't I?
Because you like our country and you love America?
I mean, I love Israel more, to be honest. And, you know, he's really like me. He's really a lot like me, so I see a lot of myself in him.
All right. Do you like hanging out at Epstein Island or something?
Well, no, it's more like, you know, he's closeted, I'm closeted. You know, he's got a small dick, I got a small dick. And I'm like, man, that's so cool.
You guys could like be closeted together.
Not out loud like that. It's on the DL.
Well, it's on the DL. You're on my live talking about it.
Oh, shit, man. Come, let's change the subject.
Now it's all out there. Stupid. That was stupid. Shay, thank you so much for the corgis. I really appreciate that for lighting that up. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. But is it shaped like a Shay? Thank you so much. Oh my God. W's the chat for Shay. Is it shaped like a mushroom? We will never know. That's only for him and JD Vance to know. Melania hasn't seen it. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Doesn't sound like it.
No, I'm doing great. This is Alex Jones, by the way. Infowars.com. Everybody should go check it out.
Yeah, the impression's not great. Not bad. Not bad. Needs work, though. It needs work. Alex Jones has more of like a... how do I even do it? I see Alex is more like a... I'm trying to channel my inner Alex Jones. W's the chat for Shay for those corgis for lighting that up. I really appreciate that. I'm trying to channel my inner Alex Jones. Yeah, that's great. He was going too much like I've been smoking for 50 years voice. Not like the you have to run the yeah. Here's Alex Jones in Infowars. Shit, that actually hurts. Shit. Holy shit. Oh, that actually hurt to do with my actual throat. It actually hurt my throat trying to do it. Hello. I can't even make out what Alex Jones is saying half the time. You were red there for... I know, dude. I was freaking... Alex Jones is not easy. All right, I'm trying my best. Yeah, I need some water over here. Shoot, you're right. Ugh. Woo! Shake it off. Shake it off. Shake it off. Shake it off. Y'all, please come on in. Say something in the chat. Let's light up. Let's talk a bunch in the chat for a bit. Let's get this thing riled up. What do you guys want? Ask me a question. Do something. We'll do something over here. Keep the chat riled up. If you still support Trump, you can join the guest request box or call in on the number next to me. I guess we're just having a little slow Monday. I assume all of the that all the Trumpers were up late. I don't know, watching Kid Rock or something. And so was there a Kid Rock special or something last night? Was there a Kid Rock special or something last night? Maybe that's what it is. Because they're a little slow today. Someone said Ari was getting guests. I haven't seen anyone. Maybe they're just scared of me. That's probably what it is. They're scared of me. Scott, thank you so much for the $10. Said you'll have to excuse me. I want to say that the USA is right now looks like Trump and his flunkies are unfortunately giving to you up the ass, even though MAGA seem to be wanting it harder and harder. They do seem to enjoy it quite a bit. They do seem to enjoy it quite a bit. I don't know why that is, but hey, I guess, to each their own. Yeah, Kid Rock bottom. Kid Rock is my favorite. Kid Rock is not anyone's favorite, okay? I'm not going to believe you when you say that. Kid Rock is not anyone's favorite. Luca, thank you so much for the being a 5-month member too. I appreciate this. Is your tattoo the dead man's hand? No. I don't know which tattoo you're talking about, but it's not that. Which one? Million MAGA march last night. Are they exhausted from being angry at the No Kings protest this weekend? Is that what it is? Are they exhausted from from being mad about the No Kings protest? I was so mad too because I really wanted to get mixed up with some like counter protesters and stuff. Like I really wanted to, and apparently there was some YouTuber at the one in New York City trying to talk to somebody, but no one would talk to him, so he just stopped talking to him. I was like, man, I wish I had found that guy. I would have talked to him. Hello, how are you?
Hello?
Hi, how old are you?
18.
Where year were you born?
2008.
Yeah, I guess that's right. Do you still support Trump?
Yeah.
Awesome. Why is that?
I like his policies and stuff.
His policies and stuff? Got anything more specific?
Yeah, like ice. Do you support ice or no?
I love it in my iced tea, my lemonade.
Ice.
Yeah, ice.
Why don't you like ice?
I just told you I love it.
Okay. Why don't you like him?
I know you've never had a pina colada, but it takes ice and it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like a frozen margarita. Mm-hmm. This is going great, man. Is your mom home? I need someone to talk to. Oh, he left. None of the other Trump supporters are coming up. I was like, whatever. His mom obviously doesn't watch their kid. That's why he's on TikTok. So she's probably MAGA. You can bring her on. You know? Put her on. Kid Rock is another name for Epstein Island. That's bad. That's bad. I don't like that. I don't like that you just said that. I don't like that you just said that. It does make sense on why they support it, Kid Rock, so much, because it can't be for the music. So it must be because it's a would it be considered a euphemism? No. That's bad. It's funny, but it's bad. It's funny, but it's bad. Hello?
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Doing great. How old are you?
40.
Awesome. You still support Trump?
Hell yeah, brother.
Awesome. Why is that?
Still believe in the American dream. Still believe in what he is fighting for. And I know you don't believe in any of that, and I appreciate that. I've watched you. I've been on here multiple times with you before. We've had disagreeing points, but respectfully understand each other, and I appreciate that, bud.
I have no idea who you are, but that sounds great. So what's the American dream?
That hurts my soul.
You don't have a soul. So
That's not
what's
nice.
the American
You
dream?
don't know that, mostly. To be able to afford a lifestyle that you can pass on to your children.
Awesome. So
Whether
under
it be
Donald
owning
Trump, the price of
businesses, owning a home.
Under Donald Trump, the price of living is going up while wages are stagnating, right? So exactly the opposite of that.
Is that just under Trump, or was it up, or is it down from when Biden was in?
It's worse than when Biden was in. Yeah, we had a huge problem with that during COVID. It was starting to improve. And then now it's going in the opposite direction, right? The prices of houses are not getting any cheaper. The interest rates are not going down due to Donald Trump's policies. So literally all of the things that make the American dream are going in the wrong direction. Because of that, we're seeing like stagnating birth rates because the economy is not bad. So isn't that like part of the American dream? Like, you know,
our wages
are like 2.5 children or something like that. A dog. I don't know how dog adoptions are doing. I'm not really sure about that one, but I know it did used to come with a white picket fence, and lumber is way up. So that's probably
no,
that's
lumber's
not,
actually down. If you've ever built anything, lumber is actually down.
I have built lots of things, and lumber is up.
Did you build common sense? No.
You don't need lumber for that, sir. And if you think you need lumber for that, then that explains your level of common sense.
No. So again, lumber is down. Actually, the cost of a 2x4 is actually down compared to 4 years ago.
I'm not comparing it to 4 years ago. I'm comparing it to 14 months ago.
14 months ago, it's still down.
It's not
compared to the worst it was.
Yes, it's probably, you know, comparably with inflation, like better than it was during the Great Depression too.
No, you can't bypass the 4 years of Sleepy Joe.
I'm not bypassing the 4 years of Sleepy Joe. I'm bypassing to the part where Donald Trump took office.
Like, oh, let's talk about what's
I'm
the worst
bypassing
time
to the part where
in America.
Donald Trump took office, and since Donald Trump took office, it's been going up. See, it was high under Biden, and then it started going down under Biden, and then Trump took over, and it started going back up. That's how that works.
It never went down under Biden.
It did.
It
Not
never went down
incrementally,
under
but it
Biden
did.
because he was funding a proxy war for Ukraine. So everyone wants to cry about Iran, but we had a proxy war of Ukraine that we don't talk about anymore. Does anyone talk about Ukraine and Russia?
I'm sorry. How did starting a proxy war with Ukraine make lumber prices go down?
It didn't. It made lumber prices go up.
Oh, how's that?
What do you mean? How was that?
How did that happen?
Oil went up. Everything went up. The second the cost of oil barrels go up, goods go up. Yes
So
or no?
you're saying the cost of lumber went up because the cost of oil went up?
Correct. Because
Cool.
how do you
Did
get
the cost
lumber
of
to
oil
places?
start going up?
Yes or no?
Did the cost of oil start going up before or after we started funding Ukraine?
It was after.
Wrong. It was before. Right?
Wrong.
The second that Russia invaded Ukraine, before we even started helping Ukraine, the price of oil started going up.
How much was it?
I don't know the exact number.
Exactly. You don't. But at the peak,
I can find
it was
out if you
over
really need me to.
$140 a barrel.
I can find out if
It
you
was
really need
over
me to.
$140 a barrel. It went way up.
Right, but again, sir,
Because of this
that wasn't
war.
because of the funding
And it's-
for the
and
war,
it was-
sir. That was because the war started. Yeah. Whether we
Do you
funded the
remember at that
war
point,
or
what
not,
was the term they used? They said this inflation is temporary. At that
who
time.
said that?
Joe Biden. I know you have a very temporary memory, and it's okay. I get that.
Joe
But at that
Biden
moment,
said
they
this
"Hey,
inflation
guys,
is temporary. Well, technically he was
Correct.
right. It was temporary, but I don't ever remember him saying that. So if
No,
he did
it
say
never went
that,
away.
if
No,
he
he
did
did.
say that, If he did say that, congratulations, he was right. I think that's pretty awesome. Joe Biden could
No,
predict
it
the
never
future.
went away.
But you
It
know what's
never went
actually,
away.
you know what actually was predicting the future, which is actually crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, when I know you have short-term memory, so you probably don't remember this, but it was
No, I
actually
don't.
back in the
No, I
20.
remember all of it.
Oh, then you remember this. You remember this?
Yes.
Yeah. Back in the 2020 debate, the one Donald Trump refused to participate in, where Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis actually both said in agreement that all of Donald Trump's ridiculous spending when he added $8.4 trillion in his first term and was handing out like stimulus checks and all this sort of stuff was going to cause mass inflation in the next 4 years.
Was that before or after the pandemic?
I thought you remembered. I just said you probably don't remember, and then you said nope. I remember everything. So I mean, what are you talking about?
It actually reduced it. No, it never increased inflation at that point. Inflation was down during Donald Trump.
That's not what I said.
You did say it increased
Nope. See,
inflation.
sir, not only were you not listening, you
Those are
obviously
exact
don't know what I'm
words.
talking about. In 2020, okay,
Correct.
when Donald Trump was about to leave office, Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley said, hey, in the next few years, we're going to go through mass inflation rising due to Donald Trump's policies that he just did in the last 4 years.
Which policies?
Specifically, the stimulus checks, the massive COVID spending,
What
the
stimulus
high.
check?
I wasn't done.
What?
The lowering of
What
corporate
stimulus
tax
checks?
rates, all of those things would all increase us inflationary over, the natural adding of natural debt was going to add that.
You threw in COVID in there and just scoot by it really quickly.
No,
Was
because
that something
you asked me
planned or
the
did?
things that caused it, and I was giving you all the things that caused it. Just because one of those things was COVID spending doesn't mean I'm supposed to stop my statement.
Well, no, you did. You said he added how much? 8 trillion?
8.4 trillion.
Okay. How much of that was COVID spending?
About 4.4 of it, I believe.
No, it was over 6 trillion.
Incorrect. And I can pull that up in 2 seconds. It wasn't
You're welcome to pull it up.
over 4 or 5.
But also, it absolutely was.
All right, I'll put it on the screen for everybody. Not a problem.
Put up. But again,
Nope.
it was a lot more than 4 trillion. You don't get to shush me, princess.
I do. Shush.
You're not that special. Shh. You have very temporary memory, and it's okay. I get it. Like, you just bypassed 4 years of getting shit on by Biden just to now.
Sir, I don't even remember
everything
that
Donald Trump
Biden
does.
exists most of the time until you guys remind me.
I know you don't. You did remember while he was president, as you were championing him the whole time, and I questioned you of that every step of the way. And then you hopped on the Kamala Cuck train, which was cute. That never went anywhere.
Yep, there we go. Boom, boom, boom.
Pull it.
Already up. Total spending. Donald Trump, 8.4 trillion. Non-COVID debt spending, 4.8 trillion. COVID-related debt, 3.6 trillion.
In what year?
That was over the entire course of his 4-year presidency, his first term.
COVID didn't happen the whole 4 years.
I didn't. That has nothing to do with this. Whether it happened all 4 years has nothing to do with this. Over 4 years, he had freaking 4.8 or 3.6 trillion in COVID-related spending.
Correct. And COVID happened in.
What do you mean
what
correct? You
year
just
of
said
his
it was
presidency?
6 trillion and told me I was
No, it
wrong and
is.
told me to
In
pull it
total.
up. You just
You're
told
missing
me.
it because
You just
there's more
told me
to
it
that.
was 6 plus
There is more
trillion.
to it.
You just told me it was 6 plus
It is.
trillion. I told you were wrong. I told you that it was no
I'm
way it was
not
over
wrong.
4.5.
It is
I
more.
pulled up showing it was 3.6. Okay? 3.6.
Did COVID end right then, or did it continue past the presidency?
What does that have to do with how
It
much
was during
Donald
it.
Trump spent in COVID spending? Sir, Donald Trump spent zero.
half of
Sir,
the debt
sir,
was COVID.
Sir,
More than half of the debt was
Donald
COVID.
Trump spent
In
zero.
under 1 year.
Donald Trump spent $0 in COVID spending after he stopped being president. Maybe that answers your question. Okay? Maybe that answers your question. Maybe you're getting confused, okay? I'm talking about the COVID
If
and
you're gonna
non-COVID
mute me
spending.
and just fucking sit on your.
The non-COVID spending, okay, during the Trump administration.
Muting like an idiot.
If you want to argue about COVID spending that happened after Trump, I can't give that to Trump. I'm sorry, sir.
You can't, but you can keep muting me because you're an idiot about Joe Biden and how much he wasted on COVID.
Actually, the
okay,
numbers
I
for
get
COVID
it.
For Joe Biden are also on the same screen that we're on right now.
How much? How much? And how many
Again,
people
it's
died
on
under
the
Joe
screen.
Biden for that one?
COVID-related debt, 2.1 trillion.
just
Non-COVID
jockeyed
related
his dick for the whole
I'm
time.
literally speaking on it. Shh.
Don't fucking shush me. You're not fucking special.
All right, well,
You
stop
fucking
acting
clown.
like a fucking petulant child and I won't have to shush you. Oh, he ran. Anyways, non-COVID debt spending, 2.2 trillion. COVID debt spending, 2.1 trillion, for a total added debt of 4.3 trillion. Cool. Yeah. Joe Biden's total debt added was less. Can I zoom in? Yeah, I can zoom in. Sorry, maybe it's not big enough for you guys. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Joe Biden's total debt between COVID spending, non-COVID spending was less than just Donald Trump's non-COVID spending. That's why I don't remember that guy, because he has nothing good to say, I guess. He was like, I've been up here a bunch of times. I'm like, I have no idea who you are. Anyways, y'all, make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. If you'd like to support the live, I do a super chat, super stickers, pay links in the bio. DJ glasses, I'm trying to clear those out of the gift gallery. So if you guys would like to support, I really appreciate you guys. Sorry, I was trying to bookmark that real quick because I actually didn't have that one. I had a different one, but this one I like actually better. Because it actually has gross debt and gross debt reduction. I didn't even realize the gross debt reduction on here is so good. Hold on. I have to put that up. Hopefully you guys can read it. But gross debt reduction. That's funny. Anyways. Fun number. Anyways, if you still support Trump, you can call on the number that's above my head, or you can join the guest request box and we can have a conversation. We've been getting bottom of the barrel today. I had a better conversation last night and I wasn't even trying to. But we have been bottom of the barrel today. Yeah, they see the facts and they just go, fuck your facts. Joe Biden. It's so bad that when they get like that they get that they literally get fucking like, they get facts and like literally all they do is yell about Joe Biden. Like anybody gives a shit about Joe Biden, bro. Nobody cares. You guys are the only ones obsessed with Joe Biden. Okay? Only you guys. Hello, how are you? All right, goodbye. Yeah, it's like, bro, you guys are the only ones that care about Joe Biden so much. Nobody else gives a shit. Truthfully. Hello, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
43.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Why is that?
Same reason I supported him in 2015 through now. Not much has changed. Just an alternative to Bernie Sanders, really.
You don't think anything's changed between 2015 and now? I can name a few things.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about Donald Trump versus, or not really Donald Trump, but really the independent, non-establishment, then I think I'm more of a anti-establishment culture type
Awesome.
of.
How many times does someone have to run for president before they're the establishment? Just out of curiosity.
I don't think Bernie Sanders is the establishment, even though he's been in Congress for, God knows what, 45.
And why not?
Years maybe. Bernie Sanders not being the establishment. Similar to Trump, they're more on the independent side.
That doesn't answer the question. How is Bernie not establishment? That's what I'm asking. How?
Yeah, he's not aligned to the factions inside of the Democratic Party or the Republican Party that sort of, make group type of decisions together on the side, not really, following the spirit of democracy in that sense, yeah.
You mean literally what Donald Trump's been doing every day since he's been president? What he literally just makes a bunch of rules with his Republican cronies and the Heritage Foundation and all the Republicans in Congress, and then they all make rules without the democracy showing up? Or do you mean when he's passed more executive action, literally taking democracy out of the realm while literally just signing policy more than any other president that's ever existed?
All you said are real facts. You know, these are things that are happening, and I think Trump is really one of those people where he's not part of the establishment, but he's really making deals on both sides. So I think this is the reason why there's so many executive orders are being signed, because he's trying to get influence through the signage on both sides. He's really just, I don't know, for lack of better words, he's just trying to look for the best, I guess, the best interests, whatever, you know, his ideas is that
No,
Americans
he's
get
signing
to
executive
have a job.
action so he doesn't have to get input from the other side or his side. Like, he's literally just signing executive orders so he doesn't have to get input. That's what an executive order is. If he actually had to work through
Yeah,
Congress
exactly.
to get things signed, he would actually have to work with both sides, and he's choosing not to. Donald Trump is
Yeah,
the
you're right.
establishment. Donald Trump is the most like establishment president that's ever existed.
I feel Donald Trump is similar to Bernie Sanders, where he is a little bit on the fringe, where people even on the Republican side is very kind of like 50-50, like, are we really into Donald Trump? But after what he did to Jeb Bush, after what he did to whatever McCain, whatever he did to whatever his opponents are in the Republican Party, right? He really decimated any competition in that party. Bernie Sanders did the same thing in the Democratic Party. You
Dude,
know, he won the
sure.
heart and minds of all the Democrats, but the party then kind of stabbed Bernie Sanders in the back. And
You
I think
comparing
a lot of
somebody who's
people,
established.
yeah.
First of all, Bernie Sanders is establishment. Let's not joke. Bernie Sanders is establishment. He's not non-establishment. Okay, he just doesn't believe directly with what the Democratic Party believes, and I love that for Bernie. Right? He pushes his agenda. He pushes his morals. He pushes the things that he thinks America is going to be better on, and he pushes those things forward, and that's great. I love that about Bernie. I'm a huge Bernie fan, but he is establishment, right? Because Donald Trump is not establishment, but not in a good way. He's just working outside of the establishment in any possible way, all right, to try to get his agenda done, right? Which doesn't make him good, but doesn't mean that he's not part of the system, right? He's still part of the system. He's just trying to change the system. He's trying to freaking alter the system. He's trying to say, I don't believe in things like law or things like the Constitution or things like having checks on executive power. And then he's just trying to force those things to happen. He doesn't believe in things like democracy. Please do not slander Bernie Sanders' name by comparing him to Donald Trump. I think that's the sad part. All right. Bernie Sanders is a person who really truly does care about America, who really does care about people, who wants to make sure that people in this country will eat, that people in this country can survive off of a livable minimum wage. And Donald Trump is trying to starve people, trying to take away people's health care, and trying to kill people overseas. Donald Trump could not be more opposite of Bernie Sanders in trying to say, okay, that somehow Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders are the same people as you support them is a joke.
Yeah, I mean, you touched on a lot of great points about who Bernie Sanders really is and the type of people and leader around, you know, people at the grassroots who have been really moved by his vision for America. And unfortunately, this is sort of a side effect because he was so popular at the grassroots level. Bernie Sanders then sort of splitted these group of people, including myself, where I felt that, okay, in order to correct the Democratic Party, it needs to not be able to be in power. It needs to be able to get out of this belief that they can decide who's going to lead their party in committee instead of following the process of the primaries letting whoever gets the right votes, all the super delegates nonsense is all erased and no longer used, all these endorsements and et cetera, et cetera. And I think this is part of the reason why a lot of people who I know felt that, you know, Bernie Sanders was such a big myth that we could have had Bernie Sanders instead of Hillary Clinton going against Trump. And then when it comes push and shove, you know, Trump going against Hillary, and you know it's going to be
Dude, what are we talking about? Holy shit, dude. What are we talking about right now, bro? What are we even talking about?
I'm talking about sentiments about Bernie Sanders and Trump. Why the shift happened about, you know, Trump is kind of like the continuation of some faction of Bernie Sanders.
No, he's not.
Independence.
No, he's not. That's ridiculous. And I'm hanging up the phone because I literally can't. I can't even concentrate on this conversation. Like, you're talking so slowly, and I don't know what we're talking about right now. Like I literally, like, my brain does not allow me to try to listen to things that slowly. Like, I don't know what we're talking about. Like, we gotta get to a point at some point, dude. We got to get to a point at some point, homie. Like, you're just saying Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump are the same. Okay, I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense, bro. Oh, that gave me a headache. If you still support Trump, call on the number above my head or join the guest request box. I appreciate it. If you guys like support, you guys know all the ways to support. I appreciate it. Holy shit, dude. Holy shit. Sorry, that just... Oh my God. I'll bring up Florida, whatever the heck his name is, and over talking to that guy again. Jesus Christ. He cooked me. Yep, he got me, dude. You win, bro. God, I want to gouge my own eyes out. Hello, how are you?
Hey, how's it going, man?
It's fucking shitty now. How old are you?
I am 38.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I can't really say I support Trump, but I don't support Biden either. So I don't know.
Biden is not president, so I wouldn't expect you to support him. But thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
Hi, Paulie. I'm a big fan. Please don't hang up because I have a question real quick.
What's up?
Did you see that Drake released a diss to Schoolboy Q? And I've been meaning to tell you this because you have the album behind you.
No, I did not. I will check it out, though.
Okay. When you get off of stream, please go listen to it. It's really bad.
It's really bad? Okay, then I'll go listen to it.
It's really bad.
If it's really bad, I'll go listen to it.
Okay, bye, Paulie.
All right, man. Bye. Hello, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
38.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I do.
Awesome. Why's that?
Well, I think it's working really hard to make sure that true Americans, get to that making America a great situation again. Making sure that we have good jobs and our jobs are able to create legacy like it did back in the 50s.
The unemployment rate is the highest it's been since we shut down for COVID. And we're hemorrhaging jobs.
Well, the only reason that is because, there's certain jobs that we Americans can't do. And, we should have some people do those jobs. So I think that's what he's trying to promote. I heard you talking.
I'm sorry. What did you say? Sorry, you're going to have to repeat that again because I didn't understand. Unemployment rate for Americans is at the highest it's been since we shut down for COVID. So, and your response to that was what? Because maybe I just missed it there.
Well, I think Americans should be able to sit in jobs. I don't understand why it's down, to be honest, because he's working really hard to get us to that space.
No, I don't know.
Because, we shouldn't have to work for minimum wage, as Americans.
Ma'am, we can't. Donald Trump's making it where nobody can work for any wage.
Well, I don't really see it that way. I feel like if certain people did certain jobs, we as Americans would be better off.
We'd be better. So you're saying that we'd be better off if Americans had better jobs.
Yeah, if we only did certain jobs, like, office jobs.
Donald Trump is hemorrhaging jobs and stuff like that. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but the jobs that people don't want to do.
No, we're losing jobs in those jobs. You think we're only losing jobs in agriculture and construction? Some of the biggest, digital technology is one of the biggest things that's hemorrhaging jobs right now.
Because the people that weren't Americans that were doing these jobs just left, and we weren't trained to replace them. But we're getting there.
You think deporting people that weren't here legally is going to hurt our unemployment rate? Because that's not how that works.
Well, I was listening to this guy who was talking to you last time, and he was suggesting that Americans should start businesses and, hire certain people to do certain jobs. That would solve the problem.
If all the Americans are starting to build businesses, then who are they going to hire if there's no Americans to hire?
Well, at that point, then we can, get people from other countries, legally to come and work.
I am so incredibly confused about what we are getting here. Hold on.
I don't support Trump at all. I'm just messing with you. I don't support Trump.
Okay.
At all.
Jesus Christ. I don't even know what the fuck that was, dude. Holy shit. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that was. That was something. Anyways, y'all, make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, my head also hurts. I don't know what we're doing over here. Yeah. Holy shit. Hello, how are you?
Hi, Polly. How are you?
I'm doing good. How old are you?
You answered the phone.
Yeah, do you still support Trump? It doesn't sound like it.
Yeah, I do, of course. Since the 80s.
You've supported Trump since the 80s?
Yes, of course. Have you never listened to any videos from him in the 80s?
Yeah, plenty of them. Most of them are about, young and girls and going to...
You were in diapers? Let me ask you a question. How old were you when Bill Clinton was president?
I don't know. When did he leave office? Fucking, 2000?
You should know. How old were you if you're
that was 2000, right?
Commentator. I don't...
you don't know either?
Maybe, yeah. Could be.
You said I should know and you don't know?
9/11, right? I guess. I remember that. Nobody could
2001.
But anyway.
He got elected in 2000. Yeah. Bush got elected in 2000, took over 2001. There we go.
Okay, Polly, listen to me. What they did to Clinton was horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. I know you were
like
too
what
young
Monica did to him?
Yeah, that was a horrible thing, what they did to him. And now with the Epstein files, they want to bury him again. I say no, absolutely not. What do you think?
I truly don't really care.
You can't. Come on. Hello, you still there?
Is it me today? Did I do something wrong? Is it me? Did I do something wrong? I am so confused. I don't know what's going on today, y'all. I really, truly don't. Hello, how are you? Hello. I swear since they deregulated drinking water standards. Is this what we need to call RFK? Is that what this is for? Is this what we need to follow RFK? Are we losing it with the drinking water? Dude, this has been like so insane with people calling you. With people calling you today. This has been so insane with people calling in today. This is wild. I have no idea what's going on. I came on to talk to some Trump supporters and I am getting the strangest callers today. It has been very, very weird. And I'm not a fan. Scott, thank you so much for the $5. Says Trump wants Palm Beach Airport named after him. What a fucking joke. I don't know if he's going to be able to get that, considering his new representative is a Democrat. I don't think Emily Gregory is going to be too down for that. You know what I really hope? So I was thinking about that with the money the other day. Thank you so much, Scott. I was thinking about that with the money the other day, and I was like, what do we do about this whole Donald Trump like starting to sign money? Right? Like when the next president comes in, what do we do about that? You know? And I was like, I was like trying to think of what we do. And I think this is what we do. Okay? Because I've thought about it. You can't get rid of all the money. Okay? No, you can't recall it. You can't recall it. Because if you recall it, then that means every dollar that gets left out there is worth a shit ton, and now all Trump money becomes a collector's item. So that's what would happen, right? You would make it would immediately, no, literally, because it would make every single one, that is left out there, it would make it worth more money. And you don't want to reward these idiots. Like I've seen people on there talking about framing it and shit. Right? So no, it's going to be a collector. Someone says it's going to be a collector's item. No, this is how you do it. Okay? First of all, most of us don't use cash anyway. This is how you do it. You just make it a tradition that from now on, every active president just signs the money for when they're president. That's all we do. We just start a new tradition. Right? Where say Gavin Newsom comes in, cool. Now all the money that is printed under freaking Gavin Newsom's presidency all has his name on it. And then whoever's the president after that, all his name on it. And then it becomes, remember those quarters that were like state quarters? And everybody was like, oh, like cool, we got these things. And like a couple years later, nobody fucking gave a shit about whether you had all 50 states of fucking quarters because it fucking meant nothing. Remember that? No one gave a shit. Okay? Because there was enough printed where just everybody had it, so it didn't matter. You still collect state quarters? Well, my bad, Meg. I apologize. I'm sorry then. Anyway, that's my idea. That's my idea. Just make it a new tradition, and then all of a sudden it doesn't matter anymore. And then it'll just slowly, through attrition, they'll just burn off. Because that's the way it works, you know? Yeah, flood the market, make it worthless. Exactly, Ryan. Hello, how are you?
Hello. I'm doing great. How are you, man?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you?
I am 19.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm sorry, Meg. I didn't know that you were just going to be catching strays over here. I totally apologize. Definitely in the chat for Meg for catching strays, I guess. You know, please make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I appreciate you guys. If you guys like to support DJ Cat Glasses going on, super chats, super stickers, pay links in the bio. They're all at Polypolitics, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. So I appreciate that. All right, sir. So why do you still support Trump?
Oh yeah, for sure. So do you know about the 24th Amendment?
I'm familiar with its existence. Yes. What about it?
Oh, I really love Trump's kind of like revision of it a little bit. I can kind of explain it, and we can go kind of down that route.
His revision of it?
Yeah, he.
The president can't
so basically-
revise the Constitution.
Yeah, no, he absolutely is, and he's going to turn the 24th Amendment. It's going to be 2 and 4 gambling taxes, no more.
All right. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
Good, you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
18.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I would say I support him as a president, but not as a person.
All right. What's he doing good as a president?
Getting the illegals out of the country and, taking over Iran, people that are screaming death to America.
Yeah,
And
gotcha.
that
So
are
he's
killing
not taking
12-year-old
over
children
Iran. I don't know what
into
you're
war.
talking about.
Oh, the Iran war, the Israel-America war? Yeah.
No, I'm aware that we're at war. All right, he left. What is going on with people? He just hung up the phone. These people are so, some people are just so dumb. That gambling tax guy, I blocked his number. He called me from a new number, by the way. I blocked his number and he still called me. He got a new number and called me from it just to talk about the 24th Amendment. It's kind of funny at this point. It's a little funny. It's a little funny. He's even disguising his shit a little bit better. I don't know. He made a new phone number, called me from it, and then disguised it. You guys caught that it was him? I didn't catch it. Beat, thank you so much for the $2. I just got here. What the fuck is happening? I don't know. MAGA is on a new one tonight, I think. So we're trying to see if we can actually get if there's a smart MAGA that exists that can actually have a conversation, we're trying to get him in here. But it's looking pretty bleak tonight. It's looking pretty bleak tonight. We're trying though. Ask them their pronouns. Dude, they don't. Half of them don't know their ages. Half of them don't. Hello, sir. Please turn off the live in the background. Half of them can't tell me how old they are, sir.
Yeah.
Please turn off the live in the background. It's echoing.
Okay, I'll turn it down.
Thank you. Most of them can't tell me how old they are or when their birthday is, and you want me to start asking them to know what their pronouns are? I don't know if they can define what a pronoun is, but anyways, hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
I am 54.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I never did. I just called in to thank you, Ari, Hector, Erica, Maddie. Y'all all state nothing but facts. You do your research, and I just want to say thank you. I listen to every night, and just keep getting them. But one thing I do want you to change is when you can tell that they're black or Hispanic, I want you to bring up Trump's racist deals and everything that he's done and his racist past, and get him on that too, because that's the only thing that you don't never get, the black guys that call in or the Spanish guys. Get them on that, because it's a big thing. How do you support your own downfall of you and your whole race? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and that's pretty purposeful. To be completely honest with you, that's pretty purposeful that I don't get into that. All right.
Okay.
And there's nothing wrong. I've seen tons of lives where they do. I've been on panels. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff, right? Like that people address on that and all sorts of stuff. I just don't find it necessary because it allows them to try to defend Trump's racism, which they are prepared for, but they're not prepared to debate, to tell me how he's helping them economically or how he's doing any of these things, right? Because I've heard all the arguments, right? Like, oh, Jesse Jackson gave him an award, or he had a black girlfriend or something like that. And it just gets fucking old. You know what I'm saying? Like, But hey, maybe next time I get one, maybe just for you, I'll engage the argument just for fun. Okay.
I'll leave you with this too, and it's funny that you said that because there was a black guy podcaster that I got to call in on yesterday. That's exactly what he did. That's exactly what he did. He said, "I wish I could record my phone calls because there was a couple other people and they just had your same 2 points. Well, what about the pictures with Jesse Jackson and all that old nonsense?" Stop it. Every century, decade, there's proof of his racism, period, in different forms. So it doesn't make sense that, and then the things that he's doing, his policies that he's doing now, erasing black history, taking away civil rights. You could go on. $80 billion in black government contracts. All the black women that lost their jobs, and the fact that the way he talks to black women. They're always low IQ. Jasmine Crockett, who is somebody that's 10 times smarter than him ever. Like, come on, you're going to call her low IQ, buddy? You're the one hiding all your school records from high school on up. Like,
well, and I'll tell you this, that's a completely even different conversation, because the way that he treats women has everything to do with how he perceives the woman, right? Like, and you can see that like with I think it was a white lady that he yelled the like Miss Piggy thing and all that sort of stuff. So like, if he believes that he like holds like a power over the woman that he's talking to, then he talks to her very complimentary. If he believes that she's going to stand up for herself, that's when he starts to speak derogatorily, right? Like Caroline Levitt's a perfect example of that, right? Like, or Chrissy Nome or any of the other, women like that work in his cabinet. The reason why he talks so favorably about them, even though, even in his way, sometimes is a lot more like, sexual, even when it really shouldn't be, which is very strange, right? But like, it's because he knows he holds a power over them and they capitulate to him. The second that any woman actually stands up to them, then he just loses his mind because he feels like they're out of place, right? So, someone just said MTG is a perfect example, right? When she was capitulating to him, she was amazing. The second that she stood up for anything against him, then she was the worst woman ever, right? And so, but anyways,
he talks about his own daughter. His daughter is sexually and all that. That shows what type of disgusting individual he is.
Yeah, no, he does, yeah, but yeah, and he always finds a way, and you'll see that he always finds a way to the women that work for him, he always finds a way to talk about them like sexually, like physically, in some type of way. Even the women that work for him, the women that he talks good about, Caroline Levitt, Chrissy Nome, like Tulsi Gabbard, whoever, right? He always has to find some way to comment on them physically, right? And then on the other hand of that, when you have again strong beautiful women like AOC or like Jasmine Crockett, right, that stand up against him, then they're the ugliest person ever. They're this and that. Like, dude, I see the women that work for you. They're not lookers, bro. I'm just telling you, like Christy Nome, Caroline Levitt, like they're not.
Pay your wife.
They're not lookers, bro. I'm sorry, not trying to be rude, but there's only so much plastic you can have in your face before I just stop caring. Yeah, there's only so much your face can actually be held up by plastic before I'm just like, dude, what are you doing over here? Like, I don't know.
Facts. And you got to pay your wife hundreds of millions of dollars just to be around you. Hundreds of millions.
Oh, he's paying her so much. Oh yeah, he's paying her so much to just exist in his presence. She wants nothing to do with his dumb ass, bro.
Nothing.
She wants nothing to do with his dumb ass.
The prenup and give her more money for him to run for the second term.
Dude, she's can you imagine just being like just put this in perspective, right? Like and I'm just saying this real quick. Like you were just like a simple like mail order bride. Right? Like you were just like in a poor country. You're like, I'm going to get married to a rich guy over in the US, make my life a little better. Okay. Like whatever. Do I agree that that's a bit, no, okay, whatever. But you made that choice, right? Now you got to be the first lady and freaking your husband's like on Epstein Island and all sorts of stuff. Like you got to put on like a whole persona. Like you were just trying to be hot and just exist and be with a rich guy and like
get the money.
Yeah, get the bag over here, and now you got to go like do first lady shit. Kind of. She said that video. She was walking down the way with a robot and shit.
And don't forget, Stormy Daniels said he had a little one, and you had to deal with the fact that he slept with a porn star with no condom on, and you was pregnant. So that just shows he's trash.
Like, bro, like people. Anyways, if you had a big enough one, you wouldn't have been freaking hiring a mail order bride. Okay, let's just call it like if you were packing. I don't think you're pulling one from overseas.
I believe Stormy, she's seen enough of them.
Stormy is a pro. Stormy is a pro. But hey, brother, I'm getting another call. I'm gonna see if we got a Trump supporter on the line. You have a good one, right?
Thank you, brother. Take it easy.
You too. Yeah, if anybody knows, Stormy knows. I mean, Melania, I assume knows too. I'm sure she's been around plenty also, you know. Hello, how are you?
Not bad. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Just talking about Peters over here. Anyways, how old are you?
Yeah. 36.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
How old are you?
Do you still support Trump?
I do.
Awesome. I'm 39. So why do you still support Trump?
Well, I support Trump. I'd say the main reason is, well, it kind of hits home to me. So I lived in Denver area for 9 years. And
Beautiful
when
city.
I think about close to home, I think about the effect that not just illegal immigration, well, yeah, mainly illegal immigration had on the community. And then when Trump was in office, how that kind of changed. Like, you feel safer off of Federal and Alameda. There's not 12 window washers on each corner. Like, that's a sudden, I mean, you can argue politics all you want, but I know you're probably living in Colorado too. Do you ever think the benefits of anything like that? Like, we're quick to point out all the negatives, but, you know, even closer to Quincy and Sheridan, you know, there's not.
You're afraid of window washers?
Well, yeah, you know, people that come up to your car and try to beg for money, Venezuelans or, you know, Colombians, Hispanic, any of that nature. Probably a couple Ukrainians as well, just all kinds of them.
How do you know they're not Americans?
What's that?
How do you know they're not Americans?
Because I talked to a few of them. Okay, how do you know they are Americans? That's kind of a stupid question, because when Trump came and got rid of all of them, then they all fucking scattered like cockroaches with the light on. And a lot of them were there illegally.
Referring to them as cockroaches, that's very sweet. Yeah, you know, Donald Trump's been jailing American citizens too, right? So it doesn't surprise me that in ICE around, if you have a certain skin tone, you're probably running regardless of whether you're an American citizen. So he's make a generalization that... So he's made a generalization that all people that wash windows are somehow here undocumented, and then you just called them all cockroaches?
No, I said they ran like cockroaches when the lights came on. That's an analogy for when something comes and stuff leaves. And I figured something being so close to home, like you live in the Colorado area and you're playing dumb and acting like you don't see the difference, or, you know, that the area is not safe, or that he didn't give checks to say, here, stay in these hotels. Here's, you know, $2,000 tax money that the Democrats gave, puts them up in a hotel. And then, yeah, they gangs and shit everywhere. And then, yeah, ICE comes. You don't see much of that anymore, though. But there was a lot of that. You know, they'd send them up on buses because they didn't want them in the South. So they put them on a bus and ship them up there into the liberal states. Of course, they're safe there now. Yeah, get on off. Here's a check. Stay in a hotel. But then when that hotel's up, you know, and your money's gone, then what are you going to do? And I figured.
Well, first of all, sir, all of those people were documented immigrants. Okay, so, and they were documented people that all had background checks ran on them. And actually, Texas all had a whole bunch of money of tax dollars for infrastructure that they had already built up to take care of those migrants. And then, you know, Texas stole all of that money from the American taxpayer and then sent them to New York, to then where again the American taxpayer had to pay for hotels for them, because the alternative to that is leave people that literally legally came here out in the winter in New York City to freeze to death. Okay, so unless you had another alternative.
Yeah, there's a couple.
What would the alternatives be?
Like the alternatives to shipping them up in a bus and putting them up in a
Yeah, what's the alternative?
a hotel?
Because the choices were they were sent there, right, against their will, right, away from the places that could take care of them. They were all legal migrants, right, and so the choice was let them freeze out in the cold in the winters in New York City or Chicago, or put them up in a hotel. Which, by the way, these hotels were literally just floors under construction that weren't taking any people anyways. The hotels were actually happy to have them because these were like, pretty much these hotels weren't being used. These floors weren't being used. Right. And so they were happy to be making a little extra money off of that. So we're putting people up in hotels so they don't freeze to death. What was the other option? Let them freeze to death? Is that what you would have preferred?
No, I prefer. I mean, I'm up for a good discussion, and I'm not meaning to come across as arrogant or anything of that nature. But with all due respect and to be fair, Colorado isn't. I mean, I can survive in the wintertime there if I didn't have a home. I brought that up, and you're kind of deterring to other states. Like
I didn't hear you say that. How could you survive in the winter without any home? Let me also be clear that these documented immigrants came here. Have absolutely nothing, so they don't.
I'll let you. I don't want to get muted, so I'll let you go. Well, I didn't say anything about New York or Chicago. You brought that up to kind of change the point here, and you're good at asking questions. But I got a question for you because I was listening to that last caller.
Wait,
when you say
hold on. Let's not move back to. I don't want to move back to the last caller. Hold on, sir. The reason why I brought up Chicago and New York is because you said they put them on buses and sent them up north, and those were the cities that they sent them to. I didn't change it. You were the one talking about them sending them up north, and they were being put up in hotel. Chicago and New York is where that was happening. They weren't being put on buses and sent to Denver.
Yeah, that happened in the Denver metro area. There were a lot of Venezuelans. They went to the Denver area.
I didn't ask about the Denver area. You said they were put on buses and shipped to these cities. I'm not saying there weren't migrants in the Denver area. I'm saying that the people that were shipped away from places like Texas, places like Florida, who were migrants who were put up in hotels, weren't sent to Denver. They were sent to Chicago. They were sent to New York.
Sure, and I'm gonna tell you, I could be wrong about that, and I'll take accountability, and that's my bad. Maybe I was misinformed as far as that, but I did see a huge amount of immigrants in the Denver area, and maybe not just washing windows. That was a good example because that's where you would see them mostly. There was a whole bunch of Dandy Dans outside of Home Depot, wherever, you name it, all over the place. And I'm not just saying different street corners, just various. Like if you're going to live out in an area and act like immigration wasn't a problem compared to now, I mean, that's your choice. But a good question I have is, so when you say Trump surrounds himself with, he's not, maybe they're not the prettiest women, but let's say AOC, for example, you said she's strong and good looking. What's another trait about her that's positive besides the fact that because you brought up looks. You said Trump doesn't surround himself around the lookers. Like, you got, whenever he's up against a strong, hot woman like AOC, he doesn't know how to act. And that's kind of true, but can you say other good stuff about AOC besides the fact that she's really hot and kind of has that feistiness to her? What's some other good things about her?
Yeah, so that wasn't what I said at all. So I don't want you to misrepresent what I said. So I'm going to go ahead and correct what I actually said. Okay. What I said is Donald Trump is consistently giving, complimenting the physical, the physical person of people that he works for, that he feels that he has power over. But when there's beautiful women that oppose him, he talks about how ugly they are. That's why I said that. Okay. I didn't say that to be like, oh, she's just hot. I'm saying that he can't handle it. If somebody capitulates to him, then they're all beautiful. And he wants to, he talks about how gorgeous their body is. But if somebody stands up to him, then all of a sudden he doesn't, they're the ugliest person ever. Okay. But AOC more than anything is smart and passionate. And I do think she's very good looking. That's me personally. Not everybody's cup of tea is everybody's cup of tea, right? But I find her very attractive, right?
I do too.
But I find her
I do too.
I find her very smart and very passionate. Okay. She knows, she stands on her laurels. She knows what she believes in, and she pushes that full throated every single time, right? Regardless of who cares about it. And that doesn't matter whether it's Donald Trump or people in her party. Similar. That's why I think her and Bernie Sanders get along so well, is because she stands on those morals regardless of what everybody else around her says. Right. And I think that that's awesome.
I'd agree. That's so you'd say like kind of her passion and what she believes in, and that she stands kind of firm on it, more or less, is what you'd say.
Yes, I believe that people that have a passion for something, especially when that passion is helping people, I think that that's pretty amazing.
And to be clear, I'm not a huge Trump supporter. I just, when I see what happened, I know you can't say, okay, it takes a little bit of time to, it's not like as soon as Trump gets in office, everything gets better overnight. Of course it takes time. And yeah, I disagree with being in Iran. I think that's stupid. He said many times, he's on camera saying, I shouldn't, I'm not going to go to war, waste of time in the Middle East and Bush and talking shit on all that. And then he goes and does the same thing. It's kind of, there's a lot of hypocrisy in that for sure. But I just, when I kind of look at, I wish there was an alternative to just Democrat or Republican. I wish there was kind of an independent party or something. You could, there's a lot of special interest in, it's all money and bullshit. And I just wish there was a different option than to kind of conquer and divide. And, you're pushing the left, and then you have people pushing the right. And I thought I'd have a, honest conversation about one of the benefits of, and this is just an example of, kind of people being divided. We can't even agree on something as simple and obvious as the immigration problem in Denver. That's not so bad anymore. But that's just, that's one thing. And it's the main thing in that area. But you're kind of playing a sneaky squirrel with that one. So
no, I'm not, sir, but you just keep bringing up other things, and so I'm addressing them. But if you'd like to talk about specifically the immigration problem in Denver, it's not much different from the immigration problem everywhere. But see, here's the problem, sir, is the reason why you don't see as many people outside is because Donald Trump is terrifying people. And the way he's terrifying people is building concentration camps and freaking sending people to torture prisons, and then sending people to concentration camps, including freaking 3,800 children and 20 infants. Okay. He's separating families and deporting people to countries that they're not from, right? So what you're saying is, oh, the benefit that I'm getting is I was scared of people washing my windows, and now those people are mortified and terrified that they're going to end up in a freaking concentration camp. So therefore my life is better. And to be completely honest with you, that's a sad fucking statement.
No, that's not what I was saying. And if I could mention that, a huge point to make on that would be, it took a while for that immigration problem to build. You didn't have, and it's not washing windows. That's an example. That's an obvious thing you see. Starting from the immigration and problem in Denver in general, living there, let's say from 2016, slowly building up, bad and worse and worse and worse every year from 2016 all the way to 2023, 2022, getting really bad. These window whatever. For lack of a better term, I'll find something better to say than window washer. It's that's where you notice them the most. There's a shit ton of them on the street corners, and it's not just washing your window. And then if you don't want to pay them, they draw a heart on your window or get into. I had a colleague of mine, he actually leaned into his window. I mean, it's kind of in your personal business. It's deeper than the window washing. That's the way to describe it. So you must have not, I know you do a lot of talking on here, but maybe you weren't driving around and you didn't see that firsthand. That's the most obvious. There's other examples. So I'll quit referring to them as window washers. I can, let's set that aside. But we don't need to pretend that it was just overnight, Trump's in office. Yeah, there were some scare tactics and they're all gone. But that was something that was slowly built up overnight from the border issue. That border crisis and everyone getting over there, and not just Denver, but other cities, and that happening, over time, that's criminal. That's horrible. The way that there was no attention to the border. It was something that got worse year after year after year after year. It's not just like there was a window, immigration and a huge problem in Denver for like 2 years, and then Trump comes and they all scatter off. Right? That's not what happened.
They don't
It slowly
scatter
got
off,
worse
sir,
and
the
worse
same
and
way
worse
Anne
every
Frank didn't scatter off. They're in hiding for fear of their lives.
So what are your thoughts on how bad the border got when Biden was in office from 20?
Yeah, let's talk about the fact that we had a
22 to
record number of people show up at the border, a record number of people turned away at the border because we had border security, and multiple bills under the Biden administration that tried to address it, and they were all blocked by Republicans, especially one at the end that was specifically called down by Donald Trump and blocked in the Senate by Republicans because he told the Republicans not to pass it so that he could say the border was bad under Biden.
Yeah, I did speak to someone about that. But so what do you think the reason is? So what is the reason that we would see a number of immigrants, illegal immigrants, over time throughout that period of time to where when Trump got out, or Republicans, it's not a Trump thing or a Biden thing, when the Republicans were out of office and to where Biden won that next election. Through his time there, you were saying the Republicans voted against and it was necessarily on
sir,
the
what could possibly have happened between the end of Donald Trump's presidency and the beginning of Biden that could have destabilized entire regions and caused mass migration? Man, I can't think of a single possible thing.
Well, I mean, you clearly do. Maybe you do a little more research than I do. Maybe that's just what.
Are you serious, sir? We went through a worldwide pandemic. This was the largest economic crisis since 2008, which was like the largest economic crisis since the Great Depression. We literally had record high inflation across the world and destabilizations of entire regions. What are you talking about, sir? You're like, I don't know why all these people started showing up. Maybe it has something to do with the global pandemic that we went through that literally started recovering. We started recovering from under the Biden administration, and we recovered faster than any industrialized nation on the planet. Or we're still recovering from that damn thing. Are you talking, like, literally we had full shutdowns, freaking people starving all across the world, prices fucking skyrocketing, oil prices going through the fucking roof. Can you imagine why people would leave their less than developed countries to try to escape, to try to make a life for themselves in some place that was a little more developed?
No, that's actually great insight. That's a good angle to look at it. You're saying that the reason immigration was so bad after COVID, that was so bad at that time, was because of the after effects of COVID, and that everyone wanted to come here because we were doing so well, and we were recovering from COVID fairly well compared to other countries, especially
better than every other country, every developed country. We're recovering faster. Our inflation was going down, and people are sitting in places like Venezuela, sitting in places like freaking Honduras, starving to death, right? And all of a sudden they go, you know what? It's actually the point now where maybe we should risk the Dorian Gap. Maybe we should risk, this treacherous freaking movement across, Central America in order to get someplace where they actually have jobs, where they actually have food, where we actually have money, where we can survive and we can feed our children.
No, and you can't blame people for wanting to be in a better place. And I would never, necessarily fault for that. But have you seen the film Titanic? Are you familiar with that film? Have you seen it?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Do you know the part where that one guy's, so I don't know who the guy is, it's some random character, but Rose is drowning, or some guy's trying to save himself by grabbing on top of her, and she starts drowning, and she's like drowning because that other guy's fucking trying to save himself. I'm tired of America being fucking it's a shitty place. It's becoming more and more of a shitty place because we're trying to save the whole world. And I'm never going to justify what Trump's doing right now in Israel. I think that's fucking stupid. Again, I'm not a huge Trump supporter. I think that's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous for Biden to give as much money as he did to Ukraine. Like, what are we doing? Why? And
lots of reasons, actually.
It,
but go ahead.
What's that?
Said lots of reasons, actually,
Okay.
but go continue.
Oh, I'd like to. We can get into that if you want. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I always appreciate it, an intelligent conversation. And I'm open-minded, and I'm insightful, and I would never, just get angry and hang up the phone like some people do. And to close out without taking too much of your time.
Well, let me explain something really quick, sir. First of all, we are a country of immigrants. The only reason the United States exists is because of immigration, right? All the white people that were here immigrated here, right? All the black people that were here either immigrated here or were forced here through slavery, right? We are a country of immigrants. That is what makes America. That's what is America. America, or United States of America, is migrants. That's what we are, right? It's the only country in the world where you can be American because your family moved here, and that makes you an American, right? That's it. Okay, so that's ridiculous. But second of all, yes, we do need to have a level of border security. Absolutely. That's 100% true. This is why it was so important that during the time of crisis, when we needed more border patrol agents, we needed to secure our border more, that it was so important that when all this Russia people were coming and we didn't have enough border patrol agents in order to stop them, right? That we needed Congress to do their fucking job. All right? We needed Congress to do their job to fund more border patrol agents. There was multiple bills that were put up and they didn't do that. The Biden administration tried to do it. They tried to fund more border patrol agents to help put a bigger stop to people coming in outside of ports of entry. They tried to do it. They couldn't do it because Congress wouldn't let them. Okay? Because Republicans like to hurt the American people so that they can blame the Democratic president. That's what they like to do. That is the biggest difference, I think, truthfully. That is the biggest difference between Republicans and Democrats. Democrats right now, while Donald Trump is in office, is voting for shit that's good for the American people, even if it helps Donald Trump. Okay? Even if it's to the detriment of the Democrats, they will vote on it if it helps the American people in spite of Donald Trump. Republicans will block anything that makes a Democratic president look good, even if that bill would have significantly helped the American public. Okay? It happened with the FEMA funding, where literally we have hurricanes hitting the United States. We need more funding for FEMA to help the American people. Literally, we have hurricanes hitting Florida and North Carolina, and the Republicans in Florida and North Carolina are voting down funding to help their own people so that they can yell that Biden is bad at it.
I know the pettiness that goes on in government. For sure, there's a lot of pettiness in government, for sure, and I'm going to agree with you on that. I will disagree with you on the biggest disagreement, or the biggest difference, rather, between Democrats and Republicans. I would disagree with you on what that is. And it is where with the old, what it used to mean to be a Democrat, and to where they got divided and lost a lot of support, and a lot of idiots that don't know anything about politics, where they would just all go for Trump all day, and what he kind of knew and milked from these idiots. And the difference is it's fine. If you're going to, whatever sexual orientation you want to be, go ahead and be it. But when they would push so hard, and I'm all for gay marriage, do it. Yeah, if you love who you want to love, whatever. How I can love who I want to love, right? But when you start pushing the transgender and all of the, everything that comes with that, and when and just riding that so hard.
Who was doing that?
You're standing so firm on that. That's
Who was
what
doing
lost
that?
a lot of support from.
Yeah, cool. Who was doing that?
Who was doing that?
Yeah.
The left side. That was
Who?
one of their huge.
Who?
Well, your girl AOC, she was one of the ringleaders in that. Biden, he would go. They were all in support of the vice president too. Kamala. I mean, that's why you have all these people like Kid Rock and just rallying up all the redneck America, and they took our job. All that came from them having the transgender.
Yeah.
They just rode that shit.
That is
all
not
the way
what
to the
happened at
moon,
all. And let me
they
tell you
lost
exactly
a lot
what
of
did
their
happen.
support.
Kamala Harris made one comment about transgender people that was taken out of context like fucking 10 years ago. And Donald Trump spent more money on his campaign on saying that Kamala Harris was trying to promote transgender stuff. She spent more money on that than any other thing that he put out. Any other thing. She said one thing and he blew it up to make it seem, to tell you guys that that's all she cared about and that's what you guys ate hook, line, and fucking sinker. Can you please name one pro-transgender bill that was passed under the Biden-Harris administration?
Under the Biden-Harris, pro-transgender, or just their support in general?
One piece of policy or one executive order that promoted all the stuff that you're talking about.
You don't need a piece of policy without a certain following. With it, Tim Walz's his support of the LGBT community his whole career, and he's the vice president. You don't need bills being passed when you have support in all these certain people from these certain areas.
What bill or policy was passed under Tim Walz in Minnesota?
So are you trying to tell me that the majority of
No, I'm waiting
Democrats
for
did
you
not-
to tell me. And since Tim Walz has been, how long has Tim Walz been the governor of Minnesota? Quite a long time, right? Quite a long time. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden were in the executive branch for 4 years. You're telling me that they are just trying to push all of this transgender stuff, all this LGBTQ stuff. They're trying to just push it down everyone's throat. So I am just asking you to name me one executive order or piece of legislation that pushed it. Just one.
Well, I'd like to start by telling you I never said I could do that. I didn't say that I could do that. I didn't tell you.
Then your
that I could do
whole
that. So you're
fucking
asking me to
argument
do
is made up.
something.
Then your
Well,
whole
I
argument is
wouldn't
made
go
up.
that
If you can't name one thing that they did to push it, okay, but you're saying they pushed it, then you've been brainwashed to say that they're pushing it.
No, are you saying you disagree with me that the Democrats do not push LGBTQ rights at all? That they don't push them, and that it's not in their agenda?
That we don't push rights? That we don't push that people should have rights? Yes, women should have more rights in this country. Black people should have more country. Brown people should have more rights in this country. LGBTQ people should have more rights in this country. Yes, the Democratic Party and the left in general believes that people should have equal rights regardless of their race, religion, or sexual orientation.
No, I'm talking about the really nitty gritty. That's the fine part. That's the fair part. I'm not talking about the fair
That's
part.
the only
I'm
part.
talking about the push part. The indoctrinating of the. I'm talking about
The indoctrinating.
sex education and fucking of homosexual sex education before the age of 18 in certain schools. I'm talking about how it's okay for someone under the age of 8. Yeah, I think there needs to be a threshold, at least 16 years old.
So you don't believe
decide
that
if you're
kids should go through
transgender
sex
or not.
education?
No, I think they should, but I don't think you should incorporate homosexual sex education.
Gotcha. So you only want kids to be safe if they're having straight sex, but if they're having gay sex, then fuck them. I hope they get sick.
No, I mean like in that age.
What's
like
the
when you're
purpose
12
of
years
sex
old, you
education,
shouldn't-
sir?
When you're 12 years old, you shouldn't be given. Are you saying that when you're 12 years old, they should like tell you like, hey, this is how you jerk a guy off and you can practice on yourself? Like when you're 12 years old, do you think you need to be seeing that or no?
Sir, I don't think anyone should be seeing that, whether they're straight or gay. Can you please explain one spot where that's happening?
Yeah, that happens in California.
No, it does not.
You
No,
you're
it
really
fucking does
smart.
not. No, it fucking does not. No, it fucking does not. Because I grew up my entire life in California, and that does not happen. That is a bold-faced fucking lie. And if you believe that, sir, you are indoctrinated.
37 now.
Sir, you are indoctrinated into believing shit, because no one is any state is teaching anyone, man, woman, boy, girl, male or female, at 12 years old, how to jerk someone off, because that's fucking insane. Why would they fucking do that to anybody that exists in the fucking United States? The only people
Okay, so
that
you're
are
from
teaching people how to
California.
do
That
that
makes sense.
is Donald
That
Trump and
all
all of
makes
his
sense now.
friends
You're
on
from
fucking
California.
Epstein
I
Island
got you.
who are trying to freaking traffic fucking children. That's the only people in the
Okay.
United States trying to teach anybody how to do
Sir?
any freaking
Sir?
sexual acts at 12.
Calm
That is the
down.
most
Calm
insane.
down, sir.
Shut the
Calm
fuck
down.
up. Don't
Can
tell
you
me to
calm-
fucking calm
can you
down.
calm down?
Shut the fuck up. You fucking piece of shit. Tell me to fucking calm down on my fucking live as you fucking spread this fucking propaganda fucking bullshit on my fucking live, you sick fuck. Are you out of your fucking mind to sit here on my fucking live and tell Californians are teaching gay little boys how to freaking do sex acts? Are you fucking kidding me? You indoctrinated piece of shit. Come on, calm down. Shut the fuck up, dude. Holy shit. Anyways. Fuck off, dude. Dude, the tone policing in this fucking live today has been sad. The tone policing in this live has been the most sad, pathetic shit, bro. Don't come on my live and tell me how to feel about shit or what reaction I should have about shit. Don't come on my live and tell me what reaction I'm allowed to have about fucking something. I'll have whatever motherfucking reaction I want on my motherfucking live. And that is some sick fucking shit. That is some sick fucking shit. To sit up here and say, oh, in blue states, they're teaching 12-year-olds how to perform sex. Shut the fuck up, dude. Holy shit. Yo, make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. Hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. If you guys like support the live, I do a super chat, super stickers, pay links in the bio. Membership's open. Working on the DJ glasses still if you'd like to support, so I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We're going to move on to the next caller. Keep this thing going. Thank you so much. Someone said, oh, he cursed. That's telling. Yeah. You know, like all the studies that say that people that curse are more intelligent. Crazy. I like how the entire time I got away with not correcting him that I don't live in Denver either. Which is pretty impressive. I was hoping I could do that. Hello, how are you?
Hi,
Hi, how old are you?
48.
How old?
48.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Actually, I don't. I just wanted to thank you for your show. You were absolutely amazing with that last caller for just telling him to just disappear with what he was saying. I really love your show. I love the platform. I love how you just show how MAGA really, really thinks about what Trump represents. And I don't appreciate the whole anti-immigration stance that MAGA takes. It's disgusting. But thank you so much. Breathe. You did a good job. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I do really appreciate that. All right. You have a good one. Okay. You
as well. Bye-bye.
Yeah. The reason why that shit pisses me off so bad, and I'm just being honest. Okay. The reason why that shit pisses me off so bad, because it's just like you're spreading, right? Like anti-LGBTQ, like hate rhetoric, and you're disguising it through like political fucking, you know, like through policy, right? Like I'm not gay, right? I'm not, okay? I assume being 12 and gay in the United States is hard enough, right? I assume that it's hard enough, okay? Without a bunch of fucking adults making up shit about you to try to push political rhetoric that doesn't fucking exist. You know? It's just like fucking let the kids be, man. Let the fucking being 12 is fucking hard enough. Fuck, man. Hello, how are you?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm fine. How old are you?
27.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yeah, I would say yes.
All right, why is that?
I just think between the two options, he was the better choice.
Gotcha. Can you please explain to me how someone who was a district attorney and attorney general, a senator, or the vice president of the United States, who literally dedicated herself to helping people and helping Americans to live better and do and help society as a whole and help our government be better, is somehow worse than a 34 times felon and a adjudicated sexual assaulter who defrauded a children's cancer charity and ended up over 100,000 times in the Epstein files. Not to mention he sexualized a 10-year-old, sexualized his own daughter. Has over 30 allegations of sexual assault. Can you please explain to me how he was the better choice?
Just policy wise.
Just policy wise, which policy was better?
Stance on the border, trans rights.
What's his stance on the border that's different than anybody else? So you're saying that the stance of the border is that we shouldn't let anyone in regardless of legal status, and terrorize people is better than controlling immigration?
No, I wouldn't say that, but
what was Kamala Harris's stance on the border?
I don't know, but I know she was vice president of the most people coming in ever in United States history.
Okay. So what? Why did the most people come in?
Because everybody wants to come to America.
And why were they allowed to come in?
Because there's an open border.
If there was an open border, then how come there was more border encounters, which means people that were stopped by the Border Patrol who were inadmissibles, than any other time in American history?
Oh, say that one more time.
There was more people stopped by Border Patrol, there was more people apprehended by Border Patrol, and there was more people turned around at the border than by any other time in American history also.
Well, I'm sure, because everybody was coming to the border.
Sir, how can you say it was an open border and also there was the most people stopped at the border?
Because more people coming means there's going to be more encounters, more people turned around.
How is there any encounters if the border is open?
By the record amount of people that got in.
What's the definition? What's an open border, sir?
I guess it's a political term. Technically, border's not going to be just completely open, walk through, but it doesn't change the fact that there's a record amount of people.
Yeah. So an open border literally means people can just walk through. That's what that means.
It's insane.
That's policy. That's just policy, political talk.
Nope. We've had open borders well before Donald Trump or Joe Biden or Kamala Harris even existed. There's open borders that are all over Europe. It is not an open border if you're stopping people, because an open border means that they're not stopping people. So if you're saying open border and you know it's not an open border, then you're purposely lying.
I mean, this is just political talk, but
it's not political talk. It's propaganda.
Border. It's not. Look, okay. You're right. It's not an open border, technically.
Mm-hmm.
But with the amount of people who came in, I mean, it almost should have been. You consider that.
All right, well, let me ask you a question, okay? What you're saying is a lot of people got in the country even though the border wasn't open. And that happened because there was a whole bunch of people that showed up, which is 100% correct. We had a record number of people who showed up from other country at the border during the destabilization of the Northern Triangle and repercussions from COVID, right? That's 100% true. So we had a whole shit ton of people show up at the border, right? Border Patrol tried to stop them. They couldn't stop all of them. They did their best, though. We needed more Border Patrol agents. The Biden administration put up multiple bills in order to add more Border Patrol to the southern border in order to be able to stop it better. And Republicans blocked every single one of them. So what did you want the Biden administration to do?
Really? Did they? I know they had the bill close to election, perfect timing, good talking point, but there was a lot of other money spent in that bill, was there not?
The money was added there by Republicans because they helped to write the bill. And that wasn't the first bill, by the way. I think that was the third.
Yes, but it still has to go through the House and the Senate.
The House approved it. The
more
Senate blocked it because the Republicans blocked it. The Republicans who wrote the bill blocked it.
Correct, but it wasn't. You had 4 years to do something about it, and you wait close to election time and pass a bill with a lot of money not even allocated to the border.
No. So when he came in the first year, we didn't have an immigration problem, anything worse than what we had in the Trump administration. It wasn't until 2022 where we started to see that because of COVID. And then right after that spot, that's when they started drafting legislation, and that's when you saw the first bill.
I mean, the bill didn't come until was Biden still president at the time, or had he already?
Yep, the third bill came a year before he left office.
A year, and then Kamala ran for what, 6 months? She had 6 months.
She had less than 4.
Less than 4. Well, I just know that the other 3.5 years, I mean, nothing was done about it.
Sir, I just broke this down for you. So listen, okay? I'm trying to baby bird you on this, all right, man?
Okay.
All right, listen. 2021, we were in the middle of COVID, okay? We were under Title 42. Nobody was getting in, okay? Nobody was getting in. Title 2022 went into Title 42 also. Complete border shutdown due to COVID. Okay? So you're saying 4 years for the first year and a half wasn't even an issue. Was a zero problem. Okay? Because we were under Title 42, which meant a complete border shutdown because of the pandemic. Then in middle of 2022, when the Title 42 expired, then it started to open back up. And then that's when we started seeing things be worse, right? Because people from other countries were also being opened back up. Borders were opening in those countries. And then you saw a slow progression of things happening to where it started to build up. Then it started to build up. And as it started getting to build up, it built up faster than anyone could have imagined, right? Because we've never seen anything like this. So yeah, it built up quickly after the expiration of Title 42. All right. By the time it built up and it got out of control, the Biden administration was like, oh shit, you're right. Like, oh my goodness, this thing got out of control so fast. No one could have predicted this because like you said, it was a record thing and no one ever thought it was going to happen. Then they tried to pass legislation. They immediately tried to pass legislation and Republicans blocked it. And then they tried again and then Republicans blocked it. And then a third one tried to pass that was written by Republicans, okay, which happened to be about a year before Biden left office. And now you guys are telling me, oh yeah, well it was too late. It was too far. It was only 70. He waited till 75% of the way through his presidency to try to pass a bill. No, he waited 75% of his presidency to let Republicans write a bill. And even then, he fucked up. You know how many millions of people probably got in the United States due to Republicans blocking that bill? Even if it was in the last year. You know how many millions of people got into the United States because Donald Trump called Republicans and told them not to pass that bill. Are you okay with that?
Okay, in the bill you're referring
to. Oh no, answer my question first.
What was the question?
Millions of people probably got in the United States due to Donald Trump calling down and blocking that bill. Are you okay with that?
I mean, I believe the way the bill was set up, millions of people still would have got in the border during that time.
And how's that?
Because they were allowing. Were they not allowing a certain amount per day?
No.
There's something in that bill.
Yeah, you didn't read it. It's fine. I'll baby bird this part too. What it had in there was an automatic shutdown clause in there, where if at any point 4,000 people over average over a week came to the border, they had the option to shut down the border. If 5,000 on average a day over a week came, it would automatically shut down the border. And if 10,000 in one day, and this was encounters, this was not people coming in, this was encounters, right? So people that were just stopped at the border, right? If it hit 10,000, automatic shutdown. With those qualifications, the day the bill was signed, the entire border would have been completely shut down and nobody would have came in the country either legally or undocumented at the best control of the southern border. The literal minute it was signed, complete border shutdown.
Okay, a mandatory shutdown would occur if crossings hit 5,000 on average over 7 days or 8,500 in a single day.
That was already happening. It was a retroactive bill, which means the day it was signed, if they already had an average of 5,000 going on over the last 7 days, then it automatically would have triggered a shutdown, and that was already happening every single day.
Correct. But how many were coming in per day before that? 5,000? Over 5,000?
No, sir, that was 5,000 encounters.
I'm reading it right now. Mandatory closure. A mandatory shutdown would occur if crossings hit 5,000 on average over 7 days or 8,500 in a single day. How many were coming in average per day? Was it 5,000?
There was not coming in, but it says crossings, and there was more than 5,000 a day of crossings, yes.
That's 140,000 people per month.
Sir, crossings are encounters, and it does not mean the person.
months,
Sir, crossings are, sir,
times 12, over a million.
Sir,
That's a million people
sir,
in a year.
thank you, sir. I love how you're ignoring everything I'm saying, okay? But I'm going to need that third brain cell to jump in and help me out just for a second, okay? Crossings are encounters, and encounters don't mean you actually got into the United States.
Okay. If crossings are at 5,000, what about the people who came over with no crossing, no interaction with Border Patrol?
What about them? What about the people right now that are coming over with no interaction from Border Patrol?
I mean, it's not happening that much now.
How do you know that if Border Patrol never sees them?
Because it's a statistic.
How can you count the people you never see?
Okay, you're okay. But the border is more strict now. It's happening.
Yes, the people you're right. The people coming through border entries, the people that are usually coming here legally, Donald Trump has completely stopped. He stopped asylum seeking, which is people that are coming here legally. He has stopped border crossings for people that were coming here legally. Amazing. How do you count the people you didn't see?
You're right. And it's forever going to happen. I mean, it's going to happen.
Then why are you counting it against Biden?
I'm not. I'm just reading.
You are. You just said. I just gave you the qualifications that would have caused an immediate border shutdown, right? Immediate day one border shutdown, right? And you're like, well, what about the people we didn't see? Yeah, people that we don't see are going to get in. The way that we try to combat that is by adding more Border Patrol agents. And that same bill you're talking about would have added a shit ton more border agents to help stop that.
They could have introduced those agents 3.5 years earlier.
How?
Through executive order.
How? Then who's going to pay them?
The government.
Oh, who holds the power of the purse in the government?
We waste enough money already.
Yeah, who holds the power of the purse in the government?
So Biden couldn't have did it.
Who holds the power of the purse in the government?
The government, all of government.
Wrong.
I mean, you could pass a bill 3.5 early.
You could pass a bill. You're right. You could pass a bill to fund them. And who has to pass a bill?
Congress.
Yes, Congress has to pass a bill. So therefore, Joe Biden cannot sign an executive order to fund more Border Patrol agents because you have to pass it through Congress, which is what I've been telling you this entire time, is that you have to pass it through Congress in order to fund them. That is what I have been saying this literal entire time, is that Joe Biden cannot fund them by himself. He needs Congress to pass the bill.
Executive order does not have to be. It's not legislation, but he can still pass a executive order.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Correct?
Jesus.
Correct? Yes or no?
Oh, man. Okay. All right. Woosah.
Okay.
Woosah. Woosah. No, just stand by for a second. I just need to, like, I'm gonna engage back in this conversation. I just need like just 5 seconds of just like, let me not hear your voice for like 5 seconds, okay?
Let me know.
All right, cool. Appreciate you. Thank you. I need to massage my temples.
Yeah, I know. It's been a long day for me too.
Yeah, mine just got so much longer. Okay. Okay. Ugh. All right. We're back. Cool. We're doing great. Okay. Sorry, sir. I apologize. I had a little crash out there. That was just I pride myself as being a pretty good teacher. I pride myself, and it's like I'm just like I'm explaining it, like I feel like I'm explaining it so well, you know, like I feel like I'm doing like such a good job, and it's just like you like don't understand it at all.
I do understand. They could have passed this bill, but also you can admit that Biden could have done more.
I 100% agree that he could have done more. That wasn't the question. I 100% believe that Biden could have done more. I think he should have done things like shutting off asylum seeking faster. I think that would have been a good idea, considering, you know, how many people were coming in. I think it might have relieved some of the effort for the Border Patrol that was already there. 100% agree with that. Yeah, I think that some of his policy about releasing people that he wasn't able to, you know, have deported and releasing them back, I think that that's 100% something he could have done. He could have done better, but none of that would have solved the problem. What would have solved the problem is passing the legislation. Okay, passing the legislation would have actually solved the problem, and the only reason the legislation didn't get passed is because Donald Trump told them not to. He could have band-aided it. He could have done little minor fixes. Yes, he could have, and it would have improved the situation. I 100% agree. Okay, if you pass the bill, then the whole problem's fixed until almost forever, right? Like until almost forever. It's just fixed. Like right now, we still don't have those Border Patrol agents. We still don't have this extra manned, gaps in between, between ports of entry, right? We still have the cartels running wild in the deserts, trafficking people and all. We have all of those issues still because we still don't have those extra Border Patrol agents, right? And that could have been fixed even now.
Yeah, I agree.
So I prefer situations in which we pass bills that are permanent, right? Not executive action, because executive action goes back and forth and sways and it gets challenged in court, right? and then it goes to the Supreme Court or whatever, and then, you know, like it gets overturned, or the next president comes in and just signs another executive order saying that that executive order doesn't exist anymore, and we just move forward, but it doesn't fix anything long term, right? And I think that we need things that are long term, and we fix those long term things by having bipartisan pieces of legislation. And there were so very few times in the United States, especially in recent years, right, where we have true bipartisan legislation, right? It's hard to get. It's hard to get true bipartisan legislation, you know, and we had it, and we stopped it to appease Donald Trump's ego. And that just really sucks for America. Just sucks for us as a country, you know?
Yeah.
All right.
I agree.
Cool, man. Well, we're ending on an agree. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. All right, man.
All right, bro.
All right. Have a good one. All right, we're gonna bust through a few super chats real quick. Hunter, thank you so much. Say I'm out. Stay real, Polly. W caller. That's from an earlier caller. I appreciate that, Hunter. Robin, thank you so much for the gold coin. Scott said I give up too many YouTube edits. I don't even understand what that means. I don't get it. Beat, thank you so much for the $5. Said whatever happened to this being the land of opportunities? I mean, they keep taking those opportunities away. So what the fuck? Yeah, it's the land of opportunities as long as you're white and male, or if you're a white mailman. Most importantly, most of the opportunities are if you're a white mailman. Melvin, thank you so much for $2. Said, don't hold back, guys. State your bigotry with your chest. Yeah, 100%. That guy earlier was bad. Scott, thank you so much for the $5. Said, Canada's impression of you guys is getting lower with every Trump lie. It can get lower? I mean, the bar's on the ground and we're still failing, I'm pretty sure. Especially if you're a white mailman. This is why we hold our Bibles. This is why we say our prayers. Shit. Shay, thank you so much for the DJ glasses lighting it up in the gift gallery. I really appreciate that. W's in chat for Shay. I can't help but to do it now. This is how we say our prayers. Lovely goddess, thank you so much. That everyone wants a different option, but very few are willing to support or become that different option. That's a very good point, Lovely. 100%. Everybody wants a different option. No one wants to put in the work to actually make that happen. Very, very true. Joe Dirt, thank you so much. That USA suppresses other countries. That's why immigration. There's a comma, and I feel like there was more to that sentence, and I don't know what it is now, and that's going to bother me all night. You know? Not gonna lie. Lovely says, of course, transphobia, it never fails. Yeah, they're gonna get to it. They're gonna start talking about genitalia eventually. Andy, thank you so much. Scott, thank you. Suit, thank you so much. Don, thank you so much. Major, thank you so much. Soy Boy, thank you so much. Norbert, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Said, keep calling them out, Paulie. Thank you. I'm trying my best over here. I'm trying. Yo, there are 3 people that are just like calling in a row, trying to talk to me right now. Just to let you know, I'm not taking any more callers tonight. I will be back on tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. So that is 5 p.m. Pacific. Call back then, because usually nobody's calling for the first half an hour, and I have all the time in the world to talk to you guys. So if you guys want to actually have a conversation with me, come on, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and you'll know what time I go live. You'll know when I go live, and you can come in and call immediately and have a conversation with me. Okay? Nobody wants to call until I'm almost ready to end, and then there's no help. All right? Scott, thank you so much for $5. Said the world is that Erica was Erica one time and how it scared DJT. Yeah, 100%. Stacy, thank you so much. Said this is what happens when an entire generation grows up without Schoolhouse Rock. 100%. That's 100% true. And Melvin, thank you so much for 2 hours. Hearing this as a teacher, we failed a generation. I think that dude said he was like my age, actually. Most of the people I've talked to have been like my age, which is even worse. To be completely honest with you. It's much, much worse that they're like my age. All right, y'all. I'll be back on 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Any of the MAGAs, call in tomorrow. Be there on time. It's the best way to get in on the calls, okay? Love you guys. Talk to you guys later, okay? Bye.